ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Our preseason edition of Monday Night Football from Lucas Oil Stadium. Ravens head coach John Harbaugh's 11th season. Of course, won a Super Bowl, but no playoff appearances over the last 3 seasons, when they are 4 games under 500 in that stretch. The Colts won the toss. They deferred, so the Ravens will receive. Rigo Sanchez will be kicking away, and Tim White is back deep for the Ravens. And here is White on the return, as he is met and taken down after a 26-yard return. So let's say hello to Joe Flacco in his 11th season. And you talk to anybody around the Ravens the past month, and they'll tell you what he's looked like Eric Weddle, the defensive back, who says, guys, I'm telling you right now, Flacco's going to have himself a career year.
Yeah, he's had an impressive camp. But make no mistake about it, this is an important year for Joe Flacco. He needs to put together some drives here in preseason.
Play action to open up the game. Plenty of time to take a shot downfield. And it is batted away as he was looking for John Brown. Matthias Farley with coverage.
There's a lot of talk about that 5.7 yards per attempt, and they're trying to change the culture. I like the mentality on the first play, going deep to Smokey. John Brown, the deep threat for this offense. They didn't complete on it, but that's the culture Coach Harbaugh is trying to create.
It's been a point of emphasis all offseason. We're glad to see him do it early.
Here's Buck Allen on the stretch play to the outside. Very well blocked as he goes ahead for 9 yards.
See Hurst on a nice block setting the edge. You know, he comes here as a pass receiving tight end out of South Carolina. That's a really good job by him, securing the edge on the zone scheme. Just getting enough of him, creating a lane.
Ball came loose as he was trying to hand off to Buck Allen on 3rd and 1. And he recovers it at the line of scrimmage.
You know, that's one of the things offenses are doing now in the NFL, and you see the Ravens try to do it there. Speed the tempo up. Get your quarterback in rhythm early. I think it's smart by the Ravens, especially when you have a quarterback that struggled the last couple of years like Flacco.
Yeah, Harbaugh talks about he works these situational football, these things a lot. When they get a big play, let's capitalize it. These mistakes are what they want to avoid.
Yep.
So Sam Cook, who has every punt in the bag, on to hit it away to Nyheim Hines, the speedy rookie, and the directional punt doesn't give Hines a chance. So here he comes, Andrew Luck, who went 585 days between games up until last week. Missed 26 games over the course of the last 3 seasons after a first 3 seasons of his career, which were stellar.
It's great to see number 12 back on the field for this offense. It's been a long time coming. There's so much optimism for him. Just string together a few drives.
Michael will get the carry to open up the game as he dives ahead for game 4. So he doesn't miss a game in his first 3 seasons in the NFL, and then has played only 22 of the Colts' last 48 with.
Yeah, he talked about having those jitters when he came back. He missed a lot of time over the last few years. And last year, he said he hit rock bottom. I think he has a new appreciation for the game and being the leader of this franchise.
I want to ask both of you about that process that he went through, because it was fascinating to talk to him. 2nd and 6. As it's incomplete, as he was trying to get to that line to make, he was looking for Chester Rogers. Guys, he said to us, you know, I started getting better when I stopped searching for the quick fix.
Yeah, he said it was a long off season. Every day he wanted to wake up and like, I don't feel better. Why don't I feel better? And he said he had to get away from the quick fix. And he wanted to focus on just each day improving. And he said, you know, it's a little bit cliche, but that's how I approached it. And it's good that he's got a smile on his face right now.
Always about the journey. More important in the end, it's about the journey. And Andrew Luck had to understand that.
That was a journey that had some real lows, as he was so honest in discussing it with us. Here's a 3rd down and 6. And that pass batted away by Young in his 3rd season out of Temple. So a 3-and-out for Andrew Luck and the Colts offense.
We knew they were going to try to get out the ball out quickly, find some rhythm for him, control the line of scrimmage, get that run game established. He's got to convert on 3rd down, just a little bit more separation. That wasn't a bad throw. This Ravens D, though, they get off the field on 3rd down. Really good in their coverage.
There's Rigo Sanchez as Tim White's going to set up shop at about the 20. Here is White on the return. Excellent coverage by the Colts, and the ball comes loose. And Indianapolis looks to have it as a flag is down as well. Looked like Luke Rhodes came up with the ball at the end here. Excellent coverage and the strip that time by Gathers.
That's just a classic example of holding him up and letting your teammate, your brother, come in there and strip that ball out.
Clayton Gathers.
There was no foul on the play. Indianapolis recovered the ball. It'll be their ball, 1st down.
That booming kick by Rigo Sanchez that was launched with a 4.97 hang time that White had to wait on, which allowed for the coverage unit to be sitting right on top of him. So just like that, Andrew Luck back out on the field. Christian Michael not finding anything in the middle against that Ravens defense. That was Brandon Williams with the tackle.
Yeah, and Frank Wright and Andrew Luck, they're trying to build this relationship. Frank talked about it when he came in here. He wanted to build this relationship on trust. He has a way with quarterbacks. He said he wanted it to happen organically. This is the area of the field Andrew's trying to capitalize on.
It's the most important relationship on the football team, guys. The quarterback and the head coach, they have to be on the same page.
2nd and 10. Here's Michael again. This time just a gain of 3. So it'll be 3rd down. Ravens fumbling on that punt return moments ago. Last year they were tied for the 2nd fewest lost fumbles in the NFL.
You know, I know it's early in the preseason, but for a team that dropped down in points scored last year, I think it's important for Andrew Luck, his first home game in a long time, to come out, put some points on the board for these fans. Critical 3rd down here early in preseason.
3rd down and 7. That's Williams in motion. Luck extending to the right, and it's intercepted. Levine with the pickoff. So prime position for the Colts, and instead a turnover. Anthony Levine playing the ball off the deflection. Well, they were hoping that the big flag would be waving moments ago, but instead the red zone interception. Anthony Levine with the pick for the Ravens. The Ravens led the NFL last year in red zone receptions with 4.
That defense, they just really pride themselves when that ball gets down in the red zone. Find ways to get turnovers.
So from the 6-yard line, here's Flacco and the Ravens. And he's able to get it complete for 8 yards to Willie Snead.
You know, you take a look at the last play, fellas. Andrew Luck down in the red zone. You got to get points. You can't force it. It's a classic case of the quarterback trying to do too much, but an outstanding play there by Levine Sr. But Luck has to not force the ball in the red zone. He's costing his team points.
Got to go back to week 7 of 2015, the last time that Andrew Luck was intercepted in the red zone. Out of action last year. Here's Dixon as he gets pad leverage and a 1st down for Baltimore.
He's just trying to force the ball, Andrew was, when he got down there. There was nothing there. Good job extending it. And his receivers got to fight to stay alive. That's one of the things Andrew brings to this offense, is that he can extend plays.
Quick over the ball are the Ravens. Empty look as now Kenneth Dixon comes back to flank Joe Flacco. And we have movement up front.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Whit, I brought it up to Boog before we kicked off. Joe Flacco newly motivated. Is it strictly because of the presence of Lamar Jackson, the Heisman winner from a couple years ago?
Well, you can't ignore that. I mean, they draft a guy at your position in the first round. It's going to get your attention. But I think he has a bigger focus. He's been a Super Bowl champion. And those best quarterbacks, they're relentless in their approach. He knows he has to get back, and he wants to get to be an elite quarterback. He has to improve his play.
We're going to see Lamar a good bit tonight. For now, Flacco's second go of it. 1st and 5 after the penalty. Play action. And he's able to connect with a big tight end who goes up and then it's down. A flag is down as Nick Boyle came skying through like a pro wrestling move to meet the defender. Boyle goes 6'4", 270.
Personal foul. Defense initiating contact with the helmet. Number 95. 15-yard penalty. First down.
New point of emphasis in the league. Danico Autry flagged.
That's one of the things they're trying to do, this Ravens offense, is find ways to take shots. And it's easier said than done. What the Ravens are trying to do is get him outside the pocket on these play action passes. They tried to look vertical. It wasn't there. He dumped it down to his tight end.
Here's Dixon trying to get around that left side and is able to get ahead for maybe a yard and a half. His helmet comes off at the end of the play.
Joe Flacco talks about going to the play action, fast tempo, up-tempo offense that he wants to do. He wants to get back. Give me the keys to the car. You know, let me get into the line of scrimmage. I'll make the calls, make the adjustments. He feels rejuvenated because he's got a full group of new arsenal of the weapons on the outside. He's trying to take advantage of these guys and their speed.
Flacco with time and then checks down to Allen, who surges ahead and is going to be close to that line to make. Well, plenty of new weapons for Joe Flacco to enjoy, including a new wide receiver crop with Crabtree and Snead and the ever-speedy John Brown. And then they went out and drafted a couple of fine-looking tight ends, including the first-rounder Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, and these new receivers, they're all veteran players. They know how to make plays. But the tight ends, Joe has loved these tight ends for a long time around here. High percentage throws, get it out of his hands, and move the chains.
Love the veteran quarterback changing the play at the line. Love it.
Gonna run Allen on first down, and he is wrapped up immediately. No gain as Hassan Ridgeway corralled him.
And look at this D, this Matt Eberflus, new defensive coordinator. He bases this defense on effort. He wants to get to the ball. You see, they gang tackle. All these guys are rallying to the ball. That's the mentality of this defense.
All start. Offense, number 72, I'm sorry. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Matt Eberflus talked about when he got hired here. He actually got hired with Josh McDaniels. He stayed on with Frank. Day one, they talk about the pursuit drill. Run and effort. If you decelerate or turn it down, you got to keep going. You see the coach at the end of the line? You're going to full speed. They got their eyes on it. Thumbs up to acknowledge that that's the way they play. It's pursuit, pursuit, pursuit. That's what this defense is built on.
I'm laughing looking at you do the voiceover to the pursuit drill there. As the check down pass to Dixon, and Dixon keeps his bouncing for you. Because my vision is right now your grandfather, who was your high school football coach, is watching that and saying, that's what I'm talking about right there, Jason.
Yeah, it's a day one principle. But I got to say, after playing 15 years in the league, it wasn't until Matt Eberflus and Ron Marinelli came to Dallas that they actually coach effort. When's the last time somebody coaches effort in the National Football League? They talk about it. Boog, you were in this system. You know all about it.
Well, having played in this system, not only do they coach effort, they chart loaf. You cannot loaf. It's technique, it's fundamentals. They want everyone running to the footballs. Going to be fun to watch these guys run tonight.
Guys, that effort is assumed in the paycheck, but it's nice to see the pursuit drill. High school days all over again. 3rd and 7 for Flacco. He pumps twice and then unable to keep his balance at midfield. As crashing down was John Simon.
John Simon making the move from the 3-4 outside linebacker, putting his hand in the ground and rushing the passer. That's what he's going to do. You're going to see him on the outside. He's going to come up and around the edge and collapse that corner. It's tough on these linebackers, and when they do that, it's all about the rush inside. They have a little ET game, just shakes it off. It's hard for these offensive linemen to pass that off inside. Good rush by John Simon. He's making the adjustment pretty well.
Here's Cook throwing a knuckleball punt at Hines, who fields it at the 13. Boy, Cook's got everything in the bag. The boomerangs, the misdirection. You saw the knuckleball right there. More Andrew Luck when we return to Monday Night Football. Luck, since 2015, the Colts have put up 25.5 points per game, 366 yards. They have collapsed without him. Just 17.2 points per game and 287 yards. Of course, they were without him last year. Now we get to see him back out there again. Preseason game number 2. Played 2 series in preseason game number 1. Those finished with a couple field goals. More importantly, he took a couple hits, and he had fun. He's enjoying being healthy, and he's enjoying the game again.
He really is. He feels rejuvenated. He likes his weapons that he has, and he loves this offensive coaching staff.
Josh Ferguson, the running back, in for the Colts, as he gets a bit of a push for 3 yards.
Well, guys, and you mentioned Luck. He's just got to play smarter. You know, we can blame the offensive line, which under Ryan Grigson wasn't very good, who was the GM. This new GM, Chris Ballard, he's put an emphasis on protecting Andrew Luck. They're going to protect him, but he's got to do his part and not hold the ball in the pocket.
Yeah, to your point, they go out and they draft Quentin Nelson, starting left guard, the rookie out of Notre Dame, who was the top offensive lineman taken in this past NFL draft. Second and 7. Luck complete for a first down as he finds Jack Doyle, the big tight end. Luck's first completion of the night goes for 16 yards.
This is one of the things they love about Quentin Nelson. They're going to pull him and run the play action and get sucked up by the linebackers. One of the best things he did at Notre Dame was pull around the edge. Athletic offensive lineman. That's why they picked him with the 6 picks. Yeah, he's nasty, he's strong, he's physical, but his ability to get on the perimeter and then the play action like you saw there.
Red 70.
Ferguson on first down. Tackled for a loss. Good run stopping by big 340-pound Michael Pierce. You know, with Nelson in there, and you think about drafting a guard that high, but also think about the division they're in. Going up against J.J. Watt and Clowney, Jarrell Casey, Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson. I mean, this is a division where you better be sound up front in the offensive line.
Yeah, and especially if you want to create your running game attack and build it in the trenches. It's easier said than done. This guy can solidify this offensive line early for him.
Nyheim Hines is in the game, split out wide with an empty look for Luck here on 2nd and 12. Luck reaching up and out for it, but beyond Ryan Grant.
And Quentin Nelson, the first guard taken in the NFL draft, just a nasty guy. You can put him at left guard, and he should be there for the next 10 or 15 years. Taking Wilkins down inside. Wilkins will be a high pick next year, and Nelson just abused him. But what I love about him is the physicality, the athleticism, all combined in one. It's rare to find a guy that physical and that athletic.
He just plays the right way, Bug. It's great to see those guys transition.
Absolutely does, man.
I love how Bogue emphasized nasty. 3rd and 12. Luck. Good look that time. Stepped forward and found Doyle again for another first down.
And that's what Andrew Luck brings. We talk about him holding the football in the pocket. Sometimes when you hold the ball in the pocket, you have to just step up. Andrew Luck dropping back. He sees the pressure coming outside. What do the great ones do? They step up in the pocket and delivers a strike to Doyle. The athleticism paying off. Remember, all the great ones step up in the pocket, not outside.
His rookie tackle there, Braden Smith, he got beat a little bit on the inside. Luck said, don't worry about it, young buck. I got you covered. Stepping up inside the pocket's the key, what Luck did there.
High formation with Ferguson. They go play action out of it. Luck with time. He finds Ferguson out of the backfield. So 2 receptions to Doyle, and now that toss to Ferguson. He likes Doyle as a nice crutch to lean on. In fact, the last regular season completion for Andrew Luck went to Jack Doyle all the way back in week 17 of 2016 against the Jags.
Frank Reich told us he compared his offense to that like of a heavyweight fighter. Jab, 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 then strong right hook. And that's what he does. Run it, run it, run it, get the guards on the edge on a play action down the field.
See that knockout I called the other night? That was like a Pez dispenser, that knockout in that heavyweight fight. Wasn't that book? Here's Michael as he goes ahead for about 3.
Frank Reich told us, he said, we asked him, so what'd you learn from the last time you were offensive coordinator in San Diego? He said, I learned to hold on to the running game. Don't give it away too quick. And he said when he went to Philadelphia, everybody wants to talk about that offense and what they were able to achieve and win that Super Bowl. He goes, but I give Doug Peterson a lot of credit. The reason why we won a Super Bowl is our commitment to the running game.
It's that helping hand for the rest of the offense. Here's a 3rd and 3. Kristen Michael flanking Andrew Luck in the backfield. Luck looks left, and on the slant, he gets it complete to Chester Rogers for another 1st down.
Love how quick the ball is coming out. Catch, identify the defense, get rid of the football. If he can do this throughout the season, Andrew Luck can stay on the field a lot longer. We've seen both Lucks tonight. We've seen the guy that holds the football, but we've also seen the guy that catches the ball, surveys the defense, knows exactly where he's going, and the ball comes out really, really quick.
But watch him read Weddle on the pre-snap, getting back out there. He knew that it was cover 2. Weddle tried to hide it, but Luck saw it pre-snap.
Michael on 1st down. And he is met in the backfield and then is able to just go ahead to the line of scrimmage. That was Tim Williams in his 2nd year out of Alabama.
Joe, you were talking about Andrew coming back and what joy he's having in this process. And he said, I'm just enjoying going against the defense and seeing the disguise and watch him try to hide these coverages and the chess match that happens between the quarterback and the secondary. All of those little things. He appreciates them now more than he ever did.
And with how much in book, how much did he just say, let's being around the guys, just being in the locker room, being on the bus.
Just having fun, man. That's what it's about.
That was in and out of the hands of Doyle. It was C.J. Mosley who slapped it away. Mosley is one of the real young superstars in the game. 1st-round pick out of Alabama who had 132 tackles last year.
That middle linebacker is a tough position in that defense. They had a guy that was in that spot for a long time. We just saw him go in the Hall of Fame, Ray Lewis. And Mosley's came in. He can do it all. He can stop the run. He can cover tight ends. He can blitz. He just can play that position really well.
So here's a 3rd and 10 for Luck. Converted a couple 3rd downs on this drive. Had the 3rd and 12 to Doyle, the 3rd and 3 to Rogers. Here's 3rd and 10. He's going for the shallow cross, but it was through the hands of Ryan Grant. So they will be punting away from there.
Yeah, and that was not on Andrew Luck. They brought a little blitz from Baltimore. Luck saw it. They're playing man-to-man behind it. He made a nice throw there. Receivers just got to catch that football. Ryan Grant has to catch that.
Oh, they're gonna go for a long field goal here. Excuse me. Adam Vinatieri, the ageless wonder at 45 years old, will be attempting a 57-yarder. How about a little something for the home crowd for the future Hall of Famer? Why not?
My guy.
He's still got it.
Bag of chips there, boys.
Well, let me repeat. 45 years old. 2 of his teammates were born after he made his NFL debut. But from 57, put it through, Adam. Well, we've seen that scene through the years with Frank Reich next to Peyton Manning, Philip Rivers. Once as a player backing up Jim Kelly talking on the sidelines, and now it's Reich and Luck. That's a whole lot of football IQ.
He loves this guy, Frank Reich does, with Andrew Luck. He talked about he trusts him, and he's going to challenge him. He says he's not only a world-class player, but a world-class human. And so it's good to see them building this relationship inside out. And Frank Reich's done it with some of the best quarterbacks to ever play. significantly, the guy that's got that statue out front, this building here, the sheriff.
It's about trust, Whit, and I think Andrew Luck trusts Frank Reich, not only with his career, but as a man and the tutelage that he's trying to give him right now.
Here's Shenarian Grant from the goal line. Catches a seam, keeps his balance, and all the way out towards the 34-yard line. Now you think about Joe Flacco and his career, and there have been so many changes when it comes to the staff of the Ravens. In fact, this year will be his third season with Marty Warningweg as offensive coordinator. But over the last 7 years, Trestman was there, Kubiak, Caldwell, Cameron, all the offensive coordinators and all the change that he has had to deal with. And now, year number 3 with Marty Warningweg.
Yeah, building a relationship with a coordinator, it's hard. It's important for him to know you and feel comfortable with you, and that you can communicate with them. Joe feels he has that with Marty Warningweg.
Checks down underneath to Buck Allen, who's wrapped up after 2 yards there. How difficult is that win? You went through it for your longer. You played a decade and a half. A lot of changes to staff. How difficult is that?
Well, it's really difficult. As I was saying, Joe you want to be comfortable with him. You want to walk in there and you want to be on the same wavelength. You think about Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady and the connection that they have. They already are ahead of the game when it comes to Tuesday or Wednesday in the preparation. So Joe's had to build that. You know, you got to understand that it's a bottom line business. So if you don't perform, it's going to be hard.
Adam Vinatieri is the difference on the scoreboard. At 45 years old, a 57-yard field goal has the Colts up 3-0. Invite you to play ESPN Fantasy Football. Sign up now at ESPN.com/FFL. Start of the second quarter. And a big completion down the near sideline to Michael Crabtree, his 10th season out of Texas Tech. And this, with the Flacco-Crabtree connection, has been the buzz of Ravens camp.
Yeah, just really good feel by Flacco to understand that Crabtree's just going to settle in there, and I can drill that ball in cover too. You know, Crabtree talked about he loves having a big physical quarterback that can see him. And so just the awareness not to keep running, to settle down, and he'll find you in that soft zone.
Here's Buck Allen. Gets a great block from the tight end. And a flag is down as Farley comes in for the tackle. That was Nick Boyle out there on the edge to free the way.
Really good block by Boyle, coming around on the counter trap, and you just got to throw your legs out there. That's a nice cut block. It's easier said than done. You know, those tight ends don't do it nearly as much.
Personal foul, lowering the head to initiate contact. Defense, number 27. Half the distance to the goal line. Automatic first down.
So that's the new point of emphasis, the new rule. You know, the NFL is going to assemble an updated video teaching tape that's going to be distributed to game officials, coaches, and players, because there's been such confusion in what should really be simplicity of this new point of emphasis.
But that certainly looked like that qualified in the reel that we've seen. And I think that principle, they got it in theory what they want to do. They just need to adjust it so we're all speaking the same language.
If a player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with the helmet on an opponent, it is a foul. Kenneth Dixon.
You know, it's just one of those things, guys, where I think the people in the room making the rules have to understand that these players are trying to lower their shoulder. But I dare anyone out there, lower your shoulder without your head coming down also. It's almost physically impossible. So they're going to have to tweak or adjust the rule a little bit, because that's just not possible to do.
One of the things the Ravens offense is doing here, they got 2 tight ends in. They're trying to take advantage of keeping the Colts defense with the big linebackers on the field.
2nd and 4. Flacco batted down at the line of scrimmage. That was Autry getting right in the path of that pass.
Love what the Colts are doing, Joe. They're playing their defense. Matt Eberflus is playing an over front, and these guys are dropping back, playing zone defense. That's the defense I played in Tampa and Indy. They're going to play it and make you beat this zone defense. Zone droppers, corners, dropping on their landmark, reading the quarterback's eyes.
3rd and 4.
John Brown inside, may try to hit him in underneath.
Flacco to the end zone. Did he get it? Smokey Brown. What an effort for the touchdown.
John Brown, that's why he was brought here, for that reason, because he understands, has a feel for the slot and knowing how to work it. He didn't get a real clean release, but at the top of the route, he always gives him a chance to make a throw. Really good job getting that foot down. Touchdown.
He just proves he's not a deep threat. Everyone thinks that John Brown quit as a guy that's just going to go deep. We talked to everybody in Baltimore. Coach Harbaugh said this guy can do it all. He can run every route on the route tree.
But the bottom line is, that matchup of John Brown on the rookie, Sky Moore, the Ravens love that. Joe Flacco saw that pre-snap and was licking his chops.
I'd love it too.
They have been thrilled with him. He signed a one-year deal, came over from Arizona, and he's betting on himself. He may be cashing a big one at the end of this season, the way he's primed. 7-3 Ravens. 7 of 9 just had the touchdown pass to John Smokey Brown moments ago.
You're going to see Joe Flacco. He was tired of hearing about it, so the first play they come out, takes a shot down the field to his new receiver, John Brown. Long foul ball, but I like the mindset. Pull the guard, pull the fullback on the next one. He takes a look at Crabtree down the field. It's covered, I'll check it down, that's okay. And in the red zone, seeing the matchup, John Brown on the linebacker and delivering the ball in tight windows. That's what Joe Flacco came here to do. He's got a mindset to him. Now, there was a question a long time ago, is he elite, is he elite? Now the question is, can Joe Flacco, is he the guy? Is he the guy to lead this organization and be the leader of this football team? I think he answered it there, boys.
Nyheim Hines is met at the 20, gets ahead for 3 more yards. Let's check in with Lisa.
Hey there. Well, it's Andrew Luck's favorite target, T.Y. Hilton, not playing tonight because of a right shoulder injury. We were at practice on Saturday. We saw him get banged up. He had his pads off. He was icing that arm, had it wrapped in an ace bandage. Frank Reich told reporters later that day that it's a shoulder sprain, but the Colts do not believe it is too serious, but they're keeping him out tonight.
Thank you, Lisa. He's now the elder statesman of that wide receiver room. He's been on the same page with Andrew Luck in practice over the course of recent weeks. Not in action tonight.
A lot of guys are excited to have Andrew Luck back. Like none more than that guy right there, yeah. T.Y. Hilton.
Hey, kill, white 57. White 57. Red 80.
There's Kristen Michael.
A lot's been made about Andrew Luck and getting rid of the football quick. You take a look at what he's done in the past. Just holding the football. Pat. You can't do that. You have to get the ball out quick. Frank Reich and Chris Ballard, the emphasis was catching the ball and get rid of it quick. That's what he's done tonight. You can already see the fruits of the labor paying dividends tonight. Boys, Andrew Luck's not going to hold the ball this year.
He said, I've gotten better every day of camp. Feels like he's got a new lease on his football life.
White 70. What's that?
2nd and 8. Shallow cross and taken down right away is Ebron.
Ebron, one of his new weapons there, brought him in, free agent. I think he's going to pay dividends for this Colts team. And, you know, talking to Eric Ebron, guys, on the sideline in practice the other day, he said the Detroit days are gone, okay? He's got a new lease on life. He had a kid. He's got a 10-month-old son. And he said that focused him in on playing football. He was young and immature when he got in this league, and now he feels like he's ready to go because of his newfound focus.
When he got into the league, he was the 10th overall pick in the draft in 2014.
Yeah, he had high expectations, Joe. And it's hard for tight ends to make that transition because they want him to block. And he wasn't willing to do that early in his career.
Says the guy who has the 4th most receptions in the history of the sport. Taken down is Luck. And it was Sizzle himself, Mr. Suggs.
Yeah, you're going to see Sizzle here. You know, this play, you got to know where he's at. He's got 125 sacks. Jack Doyle just gives him a little chip. Left tackle. Let me tell you something. I know it's a young guy coming in there for Anthony Costanzo, Laravian Clark, but guess what? When in doubt, block the guy that's got 125 sacks. His name's T. Sizzle.
The Benjamin Buttons of NFL edge rushers. 16th season, now 35 years old is Suggs. As Grant calls for the fair catch at about the 36th. Look at him still getting after it after all these years. Monday Night Football here in Indy, and there is Lamar Jackson, the 5th quarterback taken in this year's first round. The Ravens traded back into the first round to get him. The Heisman winner from 2016, who told us yesterday, said, guys, it feels like my freshman year again. Well, he got better as every week went on in his freshman year at Louisville back in 2015. He finished that up with being a bowl MVP. A year later, he was the Heisman winner.
It's a great opportunity for him coming early in this game. He's only, his 3rd game now out of the gate. His focus is on being a pocket passer. We know about his playmaking ability, staying inside the pocket, getting through his reads quickly, and directing the ball where it needs to go.
I just want to see the game slow down for him. The game was moving too fast in the first couple games. It's got to slow down for him to play in the pocket.
Jackson's going to hand off to Edwards on his first play as Edwards spins ahead for 1 yard. Fellow rookie out of Rutgers, Hassan Ridgeway with the tackle. You say it's got to slow down for him. So some describe him as the ultimate playmaker, but is he ready to play?
I think it's going to take time for him to play, Joe. I mean, my experience is this, and he's got a great experience on the sideline there with him and RG3. You just cannot take those hits in this league. You got to form yourself and understand you got to be a pocket passer.
2nd and 8, I formation with Edwards there as the tailback. And he will get the work, and he's met. And a loss of 1. Athletically and in terms of the dazzle factor, he can bring it. You saw it at Louisville time and time again, Book.
Well, I mean, the guy's a fascinating athlete, but that's the thing they talk about, his playmaking ability, making plays, getting outside. That's the #1 thing you hear. My question is, can he transition and play that in the NFL? Love the jumping over the guy, but in the NFL, you're not going to be able to do that. He's a playmaker. I just wonder when and if he'll be able to play quarterback in this league.
And he's got a great opportunity here on 3rd down. They're going empty. Let's see if he can convert one here early.
3rd and 8. Jackson takes a deep drop and then slings it with a wobble to it and incomplete as he was looking for Grant.
And that's the concern right there. That wasn't a great route by his receivers, but he's got to deliver that shot. He sees that it's covered 2. There's a soft spot in there. Settle your feet, deliver a strike. Wobbly ball a little bit, not a great route, but he just got to find the area. Throw him open a lot of times. That's what the good quarterbacks do. So he's going to have a lot of time, but I think at the end of the day, to steal a line from our ESPN colleague, Fran Fraschilli, I think he's a year away from being a year away. And it's going to take time, and he's just got to dive in with Marty Morningway.
Sam Cook with Hines fielding that punt. The ball came out for a moment there. 42-yard punt, 6-yard return as a flag is down at the end of that return.
Back on Lamar, I just love that his mindset is that he's committed to playing quarterback. You know, I like that approach. He talked all through the draft. He wants to play quarterback. So now he's just got to engage
during
in that.
The return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 16. 10-yard penalty. 1st down Indianapolis. Timeout.
You know, Lamar entered tonight with the 2nd lowest completion percentage of any rookie quarterback this preseason. Just under 40%. Hard from downtown Indy. We're not far away. Watching Andrew Luck as the Ravens lead 7-3. The Colts offense held without a 1st down on 3 of their 4 possessions. As Luck tries to get back to business, pressure comes straight up the middle. He was pushed back and he throws it away.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything from Andrew Luck tonight. You know, he's trying to knock off the rust. It's early. You see here, he's going to extend the play. Nothing's there. It's 3rd down. Just throw it away. Allow Vinatieri to come out there and get you 3 points. Can't throw the picks in the red zone. But then at times, he was able to step up in the pocket and find his tight end. Nice awareness and patience in the pocket. But this one really isn't on him. It's a tough sack by T. Sizzle. You know, he felt that one, but he talked about that. Being able to take those hits, it made him feel like he was back. He's hoping to put a nice drive together.
2nd and 10, shallow cross, complete. And to the 19-yard line goes Eric Ebron.
You know what I've seen tonight is a guy that came out super jacked up. You should have seen the fans down here all on the sideline. These fans were jacked up when Andrew Luck came on the field.
You think it impacted him, Boog?
Well, I think he came out a little jacked. It's the first time he played at home in a long time, and I think he wanted to prove something. That's why he forced that throw. I think this series here is about Andrew Luck going against the twos on Baltimore. Let's get a drive going. Let's get some confidence for your one offense.
3rd and 5. See if he can stay on the field. Luck sacked again.
There we go once again, guys. Andrew Luck holding the football. Baltimore brought a little pressure on the strong side. Andrew Luck has to recognize it as number 41, Anthony Levine, is coming off the strong side. He's got to get rid of that ball. Now, he can't hold it. That's not on the offensive line. That's not on the receivers. Andrew Luck has to throw that football on time.
Good job by Zadarius Smith, his 4th year out of Kentucky. Sanchez from his goal line pops it up and out to the right, as he was trying to play keep away from Grant having a return. So we will get another look at Lamar Jackson after that 31-yard punt, and he will start off with good field position.
You know, guys, one of the things that was brought up with Lamar is his emphasis on playing the quarterback position. And I just wonder, can he make a big impact at the quarterback position in this league? I know he's a dynamic playmaker, but we haven't seen the running quarterbacks make a huge impact. I think of Michael Vick and RG3. They just didn't get it done.
He said, listen, I played quarterback from youth football, middle school football, high school football, won a Heisman as a quarterback in college. Who's going to tell me no if I'm getting a chance? Out of the pocket and incomplete as he muscled it past the intended target.
And that's one of the things they're trying to do with this offense with him. It's a little different. He doesn't have a ton of RPOs, the run pass option, the zone reads. But this is the things we're mixing up with him. They're going to allow him to get outside on the perimeter. He's going to fake the zone read, and then he's going to get outside on the pocket. And that's what he does so well. He didn't connect on that, but extending plays outside the pocket and trying to use his legs to throw guys open.
Willie Snead gave him a chance there. 2nd and 10, going to take a shot downfield. And that was well beyond Jordan Lasley.
He had Marty Morningway here as his coach. And, you know, he was at the Eagles when Michael Vick was there.
Yep.
Had a lot of success with him. They had to change that Andy Reid system a little bit to play to his strengths, the zone reads and some of those things we're talking about, getting them on the perimeter. So they traded up here, but they really like this guy. So just the commitment. He's doing all the right things in the classroom. Now he's just got to take it to the field.
This is a critical down. 3rd down in the National Football League. Your quarterback has to make a play.
Let's see if Lamar can get his first completion of the night as he's backed all the way up to the 35. And then he will chuck it away. That was Danico Autry going on a nice jog with Lamar Jackson to the other side of the field.
Guys, you bring up Michael Vick. When I played in Tampa, Michael Vick was the most dynamic athlete in football. Monty Kiffin would come in our meetings and say, really simple, he's dynamic, we're going to drop 7, play zone defense, and we're going to force him to fit the football in the tight windows. That's the same exact thing this Colts defense is doing to Lamar Jackson. Can he fit the ball and throw the football in rhythm and timing?
One of the greats, Justin Tucker, is going to go for a 59-yarder here. His career long is 61. Plenty of distance, but it leaked to the right. More Monday Night Football from Indy when we come back. So Frank Reich is the head coach of the Colts now, but for years, of course, he was the answer to sports bar trivia because he engineered 2 of the greatest comebacks in football history. Like November of '84 when he was the quarterback for Maryland. They were playing Miami. They trailed 31-0. Reich took them to a 42-40 win. And then, of course, the Magic in the '92 AFC wildcard against the Oilers. They were down 35-3, brought them all the way back to win 41-38 in overtime. And that 32-point comeback still stands as the largest in NFL history. He's got a little bit of magic to him. We found that out in the Super Bowl last year with the Eagles with.
Yeah, he really does, and we all know those stories, but what was really interesting to see is now this opportunity as head coach, just how much joy he has in leading this team and the toughness that he's bringing.
Jacoby Brissett now in at quarterback for the Colts. Jordan Wilkins joins him in the backfield. Play action for Brissett. Look at the time he has, and then eventually he just has to get rid of it as he was being wrapped up. That was Darius Smith who was pursuing him. So Jacoby Brissett, third-round pick of the Patriots, came over to the Colts late last year. The starter, and as Frank Reich says, in getting eyes on him, hey, I don't care what you say about a backup. This guy is a top 20 quarterback talent in the league. Boog, you agree with that?
I do. He's competing. You know, they didn't win a lot of games, but he played hard.
Here's Wilkins. Boog, what do you make of Brissett? Is he a top 20 talent in the league at quarterback?
Well, I don't know if he's a top 20 talent test, but I think he's very important to the Colts, especially with Andrew Luck coming off the shoulder injury. I think they believe in Brissett, especially after what happened last year. Think about this. Brissett came in here after the final cuts. He was on the field not even knowing guys' names. He was just calling them, hey, 85, run a better route. And so I think he proved to everyone that he's a veteran guy and he can get the job done.
They didn't have name tags for him, Boog?
Not at all.
Third down and 3. Empty look here. Man motioning back is Rodgers to that slot position. Brissett looks right over the middle and gets it complete to him. And there he goes, Rodgers, inside the 20 for a Colts first down, 28 yards from Brissett.
Yeah, you're going to see Brissett. He just has great patience. He sees the coverage. It's man-to-man, and he throws them open. You know, one of the things we talk about with Brissett is just accurate throws equals yards after the catch. And that's what allowed him to do on a little quick slant route, having patience. It's really hard to come in, like you said, at the end of training camp and play starting quarterback.
In the red zone, here's Wilkins. You know, it's interesting in reading the Boston Globe, the report that we got in recent days that Seattle, the Seahawks, actually offered a second-round pick for Jacoby Brissett this offseason. Boog, you heard otherwise.
Well, I spoke to Chris Ballard on the field before the game, and I just asked him, was that true? He said no. No one has called, specifically Seattle, asking about Jacoby Brissett. They love him here in Indy. They love Andrew Luck first, but they got a really good backup in Brissett.
Ballard may love him, but he would have took a second-round pick for him. I can assure you that.
2nd and 2. As Wilkins is going to make it a 1st and goal. The rookie from Ole Miss, who's been looking very good. They've been impressed with his ability to take on this offense.
They like going up tempo in that red zone, try to capitalize. I think they're going to run it again. Give it to them.
And that's exactly what they do as Wilkins, the ball comes out, and it goes ahead to Rodgers. What an oddball way to score a touchdown.
You're going to see they just went up tempo and ran it again. They were having a tough time stopping them. That ball came out.
That was Michael Pierce who forced the fumble, but Chester Rogers was in the right place to secure it.
And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And Rogers got him down there. Why not allow him to land on that, get that touchdown?
Chester Rogers with the fumble recovery after that Jordan Wilkins run.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty. Will play the try.
Brissett put them in position, had that 28-yard pass downfield and get them into the red zone. And they started working Jordan Wilkins, the rookie from Ole Miss. You can have 7 on the board all you want, but when they see it in film, it's going to be a fumble.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty disappointed in that, Boog. I mean, the biggest thing on that, Joe, is that he showed such great signs here in early training camp. You know, being a later pick in this year's draft, the rookie, this is a great opportunity for him. good runs. Just got to hold on to that football, certainly in the red zone.
Well, he's a bigger back, guys, especially coming from Ole Miss. He's a guy who can thump it up in there, but he does have quickness to get outside. They've been very impressed with him here. We know Marlon Mack is the guy they want to feature and get the ball to in the running pass, but you got to have that guy in the red zone.
The Colts want to take the penalty on the try.
By the way, Alex Kemp, our referee, the crew chief here, he's one of 4 first-year referees in the NFL this year. He was a member of Jeff Triplett's crew in recent years, who is our new rules expert after 22 years on the field in the NFL. And this is Alex's first nationally televised duties heading up a crew.
The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
I love Vinatieri out there. He's arguing with the ref. 23 years in, just hit the big field goal. Preseason game number 2. Incredible.
Fumble recovery for the touchdown and a 10-7 Colts lead. And we'll be back in 15 seconds. Joe Tessitore, Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, and Lisa Salters with you on this preseason edition of Monday Night Football. Rodgers with the fumble recovery. Head coach Frank Wright. So interesting. He was an intern here. In his mid-40s, he's a pastor. Gives that up, says, I'm going to be an intern for Tony Dungy on the staff here in Indianapolis. Fast forward a decade later, after all the success he had, San Diego, Philadelphia, the head coach now, first-year head coach at 56 years old.
And he thinks he's ready for this opportunity. He talked about it. It was kind of difficult in how he got this job. With Josh McDaniels turning it down. He said, I was never focused on the next job. I always put my attention on the job that I have now, coming off that Super Bowl win. And, he really enjoyed Doug Peterson. They related a lot together to each other, both being former backup quarterbacks. And he said, the thing about Doug is he was so comfortable in who he was in his own skin. You can see that in Frank.
See a short kick at the 10-yard line as White able to field it there. You may see more of that this year with the new kickoff rule, where 8 players on the return team have to be within the first 15 yards, and it takes on more of the look of a punt.
It's actually going to create more space, though, Tess. I know everyone's making a big deal. It's going to look like a punt, and it's going to force the receiving team to put smaller guys back there, and it's going to create space. They have some more exciting returns in the National Football League.
Witt and Boog, which to that point, and I'll continue this discussion after this play, could impact rosters right now. Because consider this, there's the carry from Dixon. Typically, this time of the year, if you want to make an NFL team, guys, if you're a football, if you're a fullback, if you're a running back, if you're a tight end, there's going to be a place on special teams. Now with the new kickoff rule, more DBs, more running backs. Takes on the look of a punt. You want faster, smaller athletes out there on the route.
Yeah, it's certainly going to affect the team. John Harbaugh, he's one of the guys that's going to strategize more than anyone. He's got a great kicker. He's going to do that a lot. And so it's going to play out a lot of different ways.
Here's Jackson. Of course, dangerous with his feet when he hits the accelerator. Up and over, ball came out. And the Colts look to have it. That was Quincy Wilson, who was right on top of it. Fumble recovery, Colts ball.
Love Lamar Jackson and his athleticism, getting out of the pocket. But here's the thing about it. At some point, you can't take these shots. We've seen it with Michael Vick and RG3. That may not be a fumble, but it's the shot, the physicality of taking that hit when you're the franchise quarterback. You can't do it with.
Yeah, but
should be
exactly
down by
right.
contact there, shouldn't he?
I think he is down. But regardless, he's got to, as Boog said, he cannot create these plays and take these hits.
The previous play is under review.
So let's take a look here. As they're going to review this. Remember, the ruling on the field was a fumble. Danico Autry is down at the end of that play. Let's bring in our rules expert, Jeff Triplett. Spent 22 years on NFL crews, on the officiating crews. Jeff, what do you see?
Yeah, I see the forearm all the way down on the ground with the control of the football. So I think that we're going to overturn this and put him down by contact.
Thank you, Jeff.
You see Coach Morningway telling him, Lamar, you got to protect that ball, and you can't take those hits. And so, you know, we saw it on the previous possession when he tried to escape the pocket, Joe. These defensive tackles and defensive ends in this league, they are really fast. I mean, there's no questioning that Lamar's got a lot of athletic ability, and in critical downs, he's going to have to escape the pocket and use his legs. But he's got to be smarter with that, and he has to protect the football.
You know, that's why we have this conversation about should Joe Flacco be worried. I don't think he should be. Lamar Jackson, at best, in my opinion, is 2 years away from having an opportunity to see if he can play quarterback in this league. I think he's a playmaker right now, and they're going to figure out ways to get him, whether it's the RPOs, whether they have him and Flacco on the field at the same time. But
after review, the ball carrier's forearm was down on the 30-yard line. It'll be Baltimore's ball, third down there. Please reset the game clock to 4 minutes, 43 seconds, and that clock will start on my ready-for-play signal.
So now he's got a third down. Let's see if he's able to kind of send in the pocket and convert one, put a couple drives together.
There's Robert Griffin III. You know, you mentioned Joe Flacco shouldn't be worried with Lamar Jackson development. This is the guy who should be celebrating, because now, because of that, there's a chance that RG3, that Rob, could make this team, that they may keep 3 quarterbacks because of where Lamar Jackson is in his development. We will see Robert Griffin III a little later on. Here's 3rd and 5. Sacked, thundered down that time by Hassan Ridgeway.
that's what this defense is built on. We talk about it's a zone defense. Matt Eberflus is built on the front 4. The guys up front rushing. Hassan Ridgeway, nice little inside game between he and the defensive tackle, getting pressure up the middle in the quarterback's face where he cannot step up.
But it all works together. You saw the end there. He captured the outside, which Lamar was not able to get outside. He forced him back inside to the pocket. And that's where the sack came.
Look at what Cook just did, driving Hines all the way back inside the 15, and then the coverage unit does their job as a flag reins in at the 19-yard line. It was a 64-yard punt from Sam Cook. You talk to Jerry Rossberg and Randy Brown, the special teams and specialist coach for the Ravens, and they will rave about Cook all day long. That is an example of the weaponry he has.
It's kind of the way Harbaugh plays, though. I mean, he was a former special teams coach. He loves these great specialists. He's got really good weapons with his guys here, but he wants to change field position.
Illegal block in the back. Return team, number 28. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that flips the field.
The rook, Alex Kemp, getting a lot of reps here tonight, isn't he, Joe?
Sure is. His first time on national TV. And he's getting a lot of FaceTime.
Taking over for
our score here, as John Brown had the touchdown reception for Baltimore, and then Indianapolis had a touchdown drive that was led by Jacoby Brissett, but finished with a fumble that was recovered in the end zone by Chester Rogers. Here's Michael around the left side, as it was well blocked, and he went untouched until he went ahead for a gain of 9. Well, there is Don Wink Martindale. Yes, Wink Martindale, as in if you're a certain age, the old game show host. Said he tore the whole defensive package down, built it back up, and trying to make it easy to teach.
You know, this system's been in place for a long time. You go to the late 90s, early 2000, you know, with Nolan and Rex Ryan, and the list goes on and on. He's trying to carry on that tradition, but he did. He said we had to regroup and rebuild this defense.
40, 50 smart, 50 smart. 19,
Second and 1. Michael, another good looking run. Flag is down. We will check on that. I think Martindale's excited about this defense, Boog.
Holding, offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Boog, you look at Wink Martindale, you think you found the lost Ryan brother. He's very close with Rex and company.
Hey, he loves him, and he takes a lot of characteristics from him. They're going to be more aggressive here in Baltimore. But the most interesting thing I found out is he says, you know what? I'm going to tear it down and give my veteran guys a little bit more freedom. Terrell Suggs says he's taking the handcuffs off us. You know what? Eric Weddle says, you know what? We're not going to be a blackboard defense anymore. He's going to let his veterans control the play on the field, and I love that as a veteran guy.
Second and 10. Yeah, play fast. Put it in the players' hands with.
That's exactly right.
Brissett just goes underneath that time to Eric Ebron. Ebron's been active.
Yeah, Martindale's talking about that he trusts these veteran players. You see their stats, but he said, hey, when you're saying they can adjust in game, it's all about the strengths of these guys. They know how to play. Mosley and Weddle, they can change covers. And what happens when somebody moves into the slot? We don't want to like that matchup. We can change the coverage. He wants to give them that freedom. And he says what he's seen in that is they take responsibility. It's on them, you know, and he's a charismatic guy.
3rd and 4 as we're closing in on the 2-minute warning here. And he'll hit it. Colts will be facing that 3rd and 4 with Jacoby Brissett. The sizzle. He's sizzling on the other sideline. Look at him shadow boxing. Time with Susie Colbert and the pigskin erudite Louis Riddick. The breakdown of Andrew Luck's first half performance. Interested to hear what Lou says about that. And then all the news and notes with Adam and more, including news that we want to give you about the helmet rule, because there's an NFL meeting Wednesday with the competition committee to examine what they've learned so far in the preseason and potential adjustments they may make. We've had 2 of the new helmet rule penalties so far tonight. Week 1 of the preseason, there were 17 games. We had 25 penalties. Week 2, 16 games in, 26 penalties, including the 2 we've had tonight. 3rd down and 4. Here's Brissett. He's going to tuck, run, pick up the 1st down, and smartly get out of bounds.
That's one of the things Brissett does so well. You know, I mean, we saw in the last possession, they had a little bit of a zone read going. He can extend plays and then allow himself to, if it's not there, hey, I can just run and get the 1st down and get out of bounds. He's a big guy. And, you know, they didn't win a lot of games, but I think we lost track of he played pretty well under those circumstances.
3 timeouts remain for Indy. Brissett underneath and wrapped up right away. That was Michael looking for anything he could find, but Chuck Clark was right on him.
You talk about him being a veteran quarterback. What I want to see right now is a preseason game. It's a 2-minute drill. You're a veteran quarterback. Let's get your offense down the field and get points.
Let's see if he can do that, Boog. As the quick out and the quick tackle that time. Once again finding Ebron, and Chuck Clark closing again for another tackle. Timeout used by the Colts.
You know, with Brissett, he has a good awareness to, all right, I can just get it with my legs. But you're right, Buck, he's got to figure out a way. And I'm anxious to hear your thoughts on it. Just, you know, can he lead a team? I mean, he learned under Tom Brady. Coach Bill Belichick really liked him, but then they traded him. And then have an opportunity to play last year. He showed some good things, but can he take that next step? You mentioned top 20 quarterback. I don't know. You know, we need to see more. We need to see more.
Well, I don't know if he's a top 20 quarterback, but I think he proved last year coming in an adverse situation that he can come in and perform. I'd love to see him get an opportunity with a team all season.
Well, Indianapolis would love to have him as a nice security situation for Andrew Luck and a future beyond that. As he hit Cason Williams, who was turning back to the inside and unable to convert on 3rd down. Stanley Jean-Baptiste had coverage that time on Cason Williams.
Williams just got to win on the outside, though. It's single high, man-to-man, 3rd and short. You got to go get separation. That's where the ball says it needs to go. Yeah. You're going to throw it outside when it's single high like that. He's got to convert.
He was trying to throw that back shoulder fade with, just couldn't get it in there. Bad timing.
Rigo Sanchez last punt was only 31 yards. This one, he goes directional and high. It hits near the numbers and then takes a side bounce as a flag comes in. Joe Flacco's night is done for Baltimore. Been watching Lamar Jackson lead the way for the Ravens, and he's yet to complete a pass so far tonight. Really getting to know Alex Kemp, aren't we, Whit?
Yeah, he's taking over for Ed Hockley for TV time.
Invalid fair catch signal. Receiving team, number 14.
You know, it's interesting with Lamar Jackson. He hired his mother, Felicia Jones, to be his manager instead of signing with an agent. So he goes into the NFL draft, and he ends up being a 1st rounder, 32nd overall. Lamar and his mother worked together on his rookie deal, and Mom did well. 4 years, $9.4 million. He says, listen, it's a slotted deal when you're a rookie anyways. I'll deal with an agent down the road when I really need one with.
Yeah, and she's like getting that 3% there. You know, he's got a nice relationship with her. He said everything that he's learned in life is through his mom. It's great to see that relationship they've had. And I know she's watching tonight, her little baby boy on the big show.
Seems like a little healthier relationship than the Kardashian momager. First down, there's a completion for Lamar Jackson as he's able to find Kenneth Dixon.
That was really good by him, though. This is a great opportunity in a 2-minute. He felt the pressure and just gets it out quick. That's what he has to do.
Coach playing a lot of soft zone defense. They're going to give him those underneath throws right now.
2nd and 1. And Dixon will take it ahead out past the 40. 47 seconds remaining. And a first down and a timeout used by Baltimore. All right, so here's the deal. So Mom is the manager. He doesn't sign with an agent. But we were there when he told us this. We talked to him about it. You say there are other considerations beyond just slotting the salary of a rookie deal.
Well, for me, here's the thing that I see. I think he trusts his mom. His mom has been with him all his life. She's always helped him make those very important decisions. So since the money is slotted, why not keep your mom on? Lamar Jackson needs someone around him that he can trust. I really have no problem with it. Yeah, there's some language in the contract she may not know, but from a trust standpoint, I really, really like his mom as his agent.
And it allows him to put his focus on football, is what he's trying to put his attention to.
Quick sling and a quick reception out towards midfield to Dixon again. They have 2 timeouts to work with. They use another one here. We're finding a little bit of a rhythm with the 2-minute stuff with.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. You know, they're playing soft coverage like Book said. He's checking it down underneath. And that's one of the things that's tough for Indianapolis is when they go to that cover 2, they only got 4-man rush up there. And so they can run the football still. And they still got timeout left for Baltimore. And so he's doing a good job. That's a good test for him to get in this 2-minute situation.
Be a big confidence boost, too, if he can bring him down the field and get a score here. Lamar Jackson, 2016 Heisman winner. He's got such a nice personality, too. You know, you talk to guys on the team, and we talk to everybody about Lamar Jackson, say humble. What a humble guy.
Yeah, and we saw that in our meeting with him. He's yes, sir, no, sir. And he's really embracing this opportunity to learn from Joe and find his role.
And he's been leading on Robert Griffin III as well. 2nd and 3. And another completion here as it's Hayden Hurst, the fellow rookie, the first rounder out of South Carolina.
Really good job by Hurst, understanding the coverage, okay? A lot of times, tight ends, when they get to the top of the route, they want to round out of it. He comes out of it, he's got to get downhill because that corner is right on his hip. So Hurst has this speed. We saw him at South Carolina, he did a lot of great things. He's athletic, but he's got to learn the nuances of running routes. You got to come back to the ball because they're closing quickly. Good route by the young fella.
35 ticks left in this first half.
I'm doing it again.
Jackson had a curl out of it. Going to try to get that corner and runs out of bounds with 29 seconds remaining and a 4-yard run by Lamar Jackson.
That's the thing that you can't teach, Tess. I'm sitting here 20 feet from him, and you can just see him run by the guys from the Indianapolis Colts. The ability to be that fast and that athletic. They had the angle, but the angle didn't matter when this young guy gets on the corner. That's the playmaking ability he brings to the Ravens.
Boog, I hope your elevated perch can move fast enough.
It can.
2nd and 6. Well blocked inside handoff. Kenneth Dixon as he muscles his way towards the 20-yard line, and they will use that timeout after the 12-yard run.
Good call by Marty Morningway. Understanding that they're playing that soft zone, he has the opportunity to get that running game. It's tough on this defense. You know, you talked about Tampa Bay running this when you were in this system.
Yep.
It's really hard, though, when you don't have Boog and Warren Sapp inside. It's just the lead draw inside. Man on man with that 4-man rush. It's really difficult. Those linebackers have to shed and get up there and make the tackle because they're not 2-gap defenders up front.
Now, this is what I'm curious to see as to how the rookie manages the 23 seconds without any timeouts left.
Well, he's got to throw the ball out of bounds or in the end zone, right? Because he's not going to have time here or incomplete. So they're probably not going to run it anymore now because of where they are in the field. He's got them in field goal range, protect it, and try to capitalize with points.
See the current drive there. Took over with 1:12 left. 7th play coming up here. Lamar Jackson backing all the way up and then throws it away. That was Margus Hunt coming after him. The big 6'8", 298-pounder.
Great job by the coach there on defense, guys. Yes, you've moved the ball down the field, but just like when we played this Tampa 2 defense, once you get in the red zone, those zones get a lot smaller, and Lamar Jackson has to hold the ball. And when he holds the ball, coverage and rush work together. They were able to rush him out of the pocket just now.
And understanding the situation, he got to be accurate thrower down in this area because you got to allow your receivers to get out of bounds if you don't go for the end zone.
2nd and 10. Jackson to the end zone, well beyond Hayden Hurst.
Like his mindset, though. Really like his mindset. He's taking a shot. It's a high throw. You don't want to leave it low in the end zone. You know, he knows that his kicker can make this kick in this area. Just taking shots. See if he can steal one in the end zone.
Well, Whit, I like his mindset, but you got to be accurate with the football. He's only completing 39% of his passes in the preseason. I get it, deep mindset, get it downfield. But if you're going to be a quarterback in this league and be a franchise guy, you have to be accurate from the pocket.
Can't force it in this part of the field, though, Bug.
3rd and 10.
Ooh.
He was trying to find Chris Moore, floated out of the corner of the end zone as coverage came from Quincy Wilson.
It's a good drive for the young fellow, though. He took command of the offense, got him at the line of scrimmage, up-tempo, made this calls, communicated the signals to the receivers on the road. Really good job by him.
So it'll be a 38-yard attempt from one of the best in the biz, Justin Tucker. Missed heading in this direction from 59 earlier, and with ease, he ties up this game. Always coaching moments, right? Got to take advantage.
Yeah.
Everything's a learning moment when you're Lamar Jackson right now.
And handling adversity. That wasn't the way he wanted to start this game off. You know, he wanted to get some drives together. He had a sack. He had some bad throws on some 3rd downs. Let it go. You gotta have a short-term memory if you're gonna play that position at this level. Comes back in, he runs a 2-minute, calls his timeouts, runs the football. Really good job getting his team an opportunity to score some points.
This is our final preseason edition of Monday Night Football, and then the 49th season of Monday Night Football kicks off on September 10th. And look at this doubleheader. You got Jets and Lions, so Stafford in action, and then at 10:15. We're going to be out west for John Gruden's return. Gruden goes and cashes $100 million, and 2 of you are stuck with me. It's the Raiders and the Rams. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern. Jets Lions will be Beth Mowens, Brian Greasy, Laura Rutledge, and then this gang will be out there to see Chucky back in the black hole. That is going to be an incredible atmosphere, isn't it, guys?
I can't wait for it. I mean, can you imagine that black hole's going to be rocking? You know, to see Chucky back in there, it's going to be incredible to see.
10-10 at the break. Colts will get the ball to start the 2nd half. Now let's get you to Susie Colbert and Louis Riddick in the studio. Susie against Gruden's return with the Raiders. We got a 10-10 game here between the Ravens and the Colts, where a lot of our attention was on the starting quarterbacks. Of course, the return of Andrew Luck this year, and Joe Flacco, who's been so motivated. All the reports out of camp is that he's been red hot. Looked pretty good in that first half. 7 of 9, 72 yards, and the touchdown pass win.
Yeah, he's been really motivated. Look, the last 3 years they missed the playoffs, and he has not played well. Comes back, he's got some new weapons. Saw this earlier, he's got a big play action. Long foul ball, they missed this, but they're setting a mindset that they're going to stretch the field. And he's in the pocket. He sees it's cover 2. Michael Crabtree finds a soft spot and convert a big play. And then the red zone. Understand his receivers on a linebacker, pre-snap, give him 6. That's what Joe Flacco is trying to do. He understands where he's at, and he needs to come back and play well.
That was a touchdown pass to John Brown that happened in the 2nd quarter, and then it was Jacoby Brissett who brought the Colts down the field, not Andrew Luck, for their 1 touchdown drive that was a fumble recovery in the end zone. We bookend it with a couple of field goals, and here we are 10-10. We'll get to Andrew Luck and what went on with him, Boog, in a second, as we saw extended play from Lamar Jackson as well with the Ravens. And we expect to see Robert Griffin III here in the 2nd half at quarterback for Baltimore at some point. There is Brissett. Corey Vedvik is now kicking for Baltimore. Rookie from Marshall, who's Norwegian born. Here's Nyheim Hines as Nyheim Hines gets it out. Ball comes out again. And it is a turnover. Fumble recovery by Baltimore. Nyheim Hines coughs it up. And that was Chris Board with the recovery on special teams.
And see him there, just hold him up. And that ball just, not only hold him up, he ripped the ball out too. An awareness on special teams. You want to grab the attention of the coach, make a difference-making play like that in special teams.
Kai Nakua made a difference with the forced fumble.
Yeah, and if you're Hines, you can be a difference maker on this football team. You can't turn it over on special teams because your team can't trust you then.
So they're going to start on the 27-yard line. They'll do so with Gus Edwards.
It's a great opportunity for Lamar here. He's got the ball with the turnover in the red zone. Can he just forget about what happened the first half and build on there at the last minute when he was able to put the 2-minute drive and just make some plays for his offense? We haven't seen that from him tonight.
You know, we saw a zone read play there, Whit. I'm really interested to see, is Marty Morningwig going to call the college plays, or is he going to call the pro plays and get his guy comfortable in the pocket?
2nd and 8, play action. Lamar steps up in the pocket. Here's where he gets the engine revving and able to turn the corner and pick up that first down. When he makes a decision, snap of the fingers, and he's gone. 10 yards from Lamar Jackson.
You know, watch him get outside the pocket when he gets there. 4-man rush. He understands he doesn't like what's open. He just turns the corner. And he's got difference-making speed. That's what he can do. With these 6-man box, he's going to keep running it.
Coming off the zone read, made the first man miss as he worked his way inside the 10-yard line. Take a look at his first half here for us, Boog.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson, we know he's a dynamic playmaker, a guy that can come out and make some plays. Him dropping back, nice throw right there, just didn't get it exactly where he wanted. Now he's trying to use his athleticism. A guy holding the football too long, had to throw it out of bounds. But we know the guy can drop back and make some plays right there to Hayden Hurst on the money. And then the thing that we love about him the most, the speed around the corner.
It's good to see them mixing in the zone read, though, because if he's going to be in at quarterback, you have to add this part to the game. Joe Flacco, not so much. But with Lamar, you're going to have to add that part to his game. But look, that 3rd down throw, that wasn't very good. You know, he's got to be better in those areas.
But do you feel they're doing him a disservice by running so much zone read? He's got to learn to play from the pocket, though, Whit.
Play to his strengths, man. Play to his strengths.
Let's see what we get here on 3rd and 2. Jackson, 3rd and 2 to the end zone, and it is caught. That was Chris Moore with the 7-yard touchdown from Lamar Jackson.
It's a called play action to get him outside. They run a high-low read. We got one guy deep in the red zone. They got another one in the flat. You see it. He's just reading it. Low to high, really not there. Then boom, he squeezes it in there. Those are the throws that this kid's got to make. That's tough to do. Right there on a dime. That's tight coverage. Accurate throw.
Chris Moore's got speed. He's been solid on special teams, and he is likely going to be the number 4 receiver for these Ravens. His 3rd year out of Cincinnati. And remember, they got the great field position because Nyheim Hines fumbled on the return. He had 7 fumbles over the last 2 years playing at NC State. That was 2nd most in the ACC. All smiles from RG3 supporting his fellow quarterback, Lamar Jackson, with the touchdown pass. Ravens take a touchdown lead thanks to Lamar Jackson. Touchdown pass to Chris Moore.
Yeah, a really good read by Lamar Jackson. It's going to be a call play action. He's going to have his running back in the flat. He's going to have his tight end coming across and then on the corner route, and then he's going to have Chris Moore coming across on the drag route. He's going to read it 1, 2, and then get to his 3rd read on the run and a really accurate throw. That's hard to do. A lot of options for Lamar Jackson, but to go through his 1st read, 2nd read, decide not to run and make an accurate throw on the crossing route, that's a lot of decisions he's making in the red zone. Really good job by Lamar getting the touchdown.
Got off to a very slow start tonight. Managed things well with the short field there after the turnover. John Harbaugh has been talking about how they will deal with the development of Lamar Jackson. Maybe some unique packages that we see in the regular season.
You know, Joe, I thought it was interesting. He said Lamar Jackson is a playmaker, but he's not ready to play the quarterback position yet. So I think they're going to use him that way.
Here's Hines, who coughed it up moments ago. And look at him get two hands around that ball. Fumbled it moments ago and had two muff punts last week against Seattle as well. A 29-yard return here. Let's go down to the field to Lisa.
Yeah, guys, well, I talked to Frank Reich coming out of the locker room, asked him what he thought about Andrew Luck's performance tonight. He said, well, you can't turn the ball over in the red zone. I thought we could have protected better for him. He said, obviously, not the performance that we were hoping to see from him tonight. But he said, I think we can pull some positives out of it and just try to build on that. Guys?
Thank you, Lisa. Brissett steps up, has green grass in front of him, as a flag is down back at the 23-yard line.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's the rookie Braden Smith out of Auburn, who they're very high on. Boog.
Was so excited to see Andrew Luck come out here tonight, see how hyped up he would be and what he would do. Came out a little early, trying to force things there. Probably should have thrown that one away. Here's a guy climbing the pocket, though, showing the athleticism, delivering a nice strike there at the door. And for me, this is what he's got to do. Get the ball out of his hands quick. This is the Frank Reich offense. He looked good tonight in spurts.
First and 20 to go with the screen to Wilkins. That never had a chance. A flag is down, but it was blown up by Stanley Jean-Baptiste.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 16. Half the distance to the goal line. Still first down.
That's the receiver, Shontavious Jones.
Frank Reich cannot be happy with these penalties throughout this game. He wanted to get a sharp game. They looked good in the dual practice with the Ravens, and they just didn't carry it over to the game so far.
Backed up to the 8-yard line for what is now a 1st and 28. They're going in reverse. 8th penalty for the Colts as they check down underneath Ross Travis, who played college basketball at Penn State at 6'6", 248 pounds.
And Ross has just got to get north and south after that catch. You're behind the chains. You're trying to make up some of that yardage back. You know, you're not always going to just be able to go east and west and make a guy miss. I mean, sometimes you just got to take what the defense gives you and get north and south, maximize that yardage.
You know, Ross is a guy they like. He was in Kansas City behind Travis Kelce. They're going to try to expect big things from this young guy. They really like him.
They like their tight end room here in Indy.
Yeah, they do.
Jack Doyle, and then they pick up Eric Ebron. 2nd and 23. As he checks with Wilkins, makes the first man go away, and then able to get to the 19-yard line. The 3rd and very long, still with Tim Williams with the tackle. Of course, Frank Reich had great success with tight ends in Philadelphia last year.
Yeah, he loved those tight ends. I mean, Zach Ertz had a career year. See his catches. Trey Burton, he's now in Chicago. He's famous for that throwing the ball in the Philly special that they did. But they use these guys a lot of different ways, in the RPOs, play actions, and he's hoping to bring that to this offense for Andrew Luck. Two talented guys in Ebron and Doyle.
Baltimore showing a little pressure.
3rd and 16. Play clock down to 1 second. And hit double zeros there.
Delay a game. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
It's kind of the game inside the game there. You got the Baltimore defense walking up, and you got Brissett trying to check a little bit. I enjoy that little cat and mouse game back and forth.
But you know what happened there? Baltimore brings 7 defenders up front. He's only got 6 protectors. So he calls his tight end down and says, hey, you got to come down and protect on the edge. And when they used to ask me to do that, it's like, oh, man, you're telling them what's happening. I don't want to block that defensive end in pass rush.
Third penalty of this drive, 3rd and 21. As Wilkins just tries to get a little bit back. You know, you saw him put up the schedule, the early schedule for Indianapolis. You mentioned Philly special, right? Well, Frank Reich is going to be heading back to Philly, week 3. Colts are at the world champions. Wonder if there's going to be an Indy special that he brings out in South Philly at the link there, Boog.
Definitely wouldn't put it past him. He said he might.
Here's Sanchez's punt as it bounced into the arms of Grant, who does a great job to make the first 2 miss, and the ball comes out again, and it goes right into the hands of the punter, Rigo Sanchez. Matthew Adams forced the fumble. Had a lot of that tonight, haven't we? Sanchez with the fumble recovery. So the Colts offense will be back out there at midfield when we come back to Monday Night Football. To the tight ends for Frank Reich, but he also, of course, loves utilizing the run game.
Yeah, he's trying to build this offense with the running game. And he talked about in Philadelphia, that's what they did so well, is running the football. Right here, they got the zone read. They're looking at it on the backside. They're going to just read that defensive end. He plays wide, they're going to give it inside. Now they're going to go to the wide zone scheme, the traditional Philadelphia, allowing those linemen to climb to the 2nd level, mixing it up. And then they're going to run the counter power. We're going to pull the guard, pull the tight end Jack Doyle, and then block down and come around. He's just doing a lot of different varieties in the running game. He wants to bring that, and then the big chunks will come in after that.
Here's Jacoby Brissett. Downfield complete over the middle as he's able to find Ross Travis for 22 yards. This after the turnover.
Just love the route there by Ross Travis. Brissett dropping back in the pocket, nice, but really, really good route there by Ross Travis. They really like him. He's an athletic, big tight end. Not as athletic as Travis Kelce, but he reminds you a lot of him.
But Brissett had to throw that thing on a strike. Cover 2, it's about 16 to 17 yards because that safety's going to close.
Here's Hines. As he couldn't even make his way back to the line of scrimmage. It was Tim Williams who was helping with that wall there. It's been such a strange game in terms of what's happened with special teams with the turnovers. We now have our 3rd kick return fumble. Baltimore 2, Indy 1. Happened moments ago with the recovery at midfield. And now inside the 30, a 2nd and 10 for the Colts. Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. Begat pressure, gets rid of it right away, does so to Hines. And Hines met at the 20-yard line by Jean-Baptiste. 9 yards there.
That's what Brissett does, though. He saw his cover 2 on the big strike to his tight end. He's a veteran player. He knows that he has to drill that in there. Comes back with the safety blitz inside, recognizes that he's unblocked, but he has time to throw it into the flat to his back.
Nyheim Hines straight ahead, 1st down Colts.
You know, Whit, you talked about Indy's ability to run the football. That's going to be imperative. You can't just drop back and throw it 50 times with Andrew Luck. We saw how that ended a few years ago. He's going to get hurt. You have to support your offense and take care of your quarterback with the run game.
3rd down, that zone read, though, you're just in a win-win on offense. If they close, quarterback keeps it. If he comes upfield, you just give the dive.
Brissett to the end zone. Flag reigns in from the 10-yard line towards the goal line. As Pascal was covered by Darius Williams.
Pass interference.
Now, Darius Williams got a good job there. He's got him in coverage, and
the
man,
ball is placed at the
just
spot of
gotta
the
let go.
foul. Automatic 1st down.
Just mirror him. You're in great coverage.
You know, I always wonder why, if you're a cornerback, if you're reading the eyes, just turn around. Sometimes if you just turn around and look at the ball, the ref will give you the benefit of the doubt. And you hear, I mean, you see right here, Brissett throws the nice ball outside, but if you're the corner, he turns around and look, but then he goes back and grabs the receiver. Just keep your eyes back. Maybe you can make an interception.
And another zone read down here.
Here's Wilkins. Wrapped up. Well played by Anthony Averett, the rookie out of Alabama.
That's the Raven culture, though. They rally to the ball, and they want to hit you. Smash mouth football is what this defense plays, especially in the red zone.
You know, they've been one of the better defenses of the last 5 to 10 years just because of their culture with play like a Raven. That's their motto. See if these young guys can do it here on the goal line.
2nd and goal. Brissett to the end zone. Incomplete.
Ravens brought a nice little pressure there. They're not going to set and allow Jacoby Brissett to sit back in the pocket. Coming inside right there on his left. He's got to throw it. He tried to squeeze it in there. Nice job by the Ravens, making the quarterback uncomfortable. If you're the receiver, you got to catch that one.
Yeah,
that was Reese Fountain.
Yeah, Reese Fountain, the 5th-round pick this year. He's got to understand in the red zone, the field gets tight. Man-to-man coverage. You got to come back downhill in that area.
Boy, Anthony Averett was wrestling for it, hoping to get an interception as well.
Let me throw this fade up top down here.
That was beyond Ross Travis. He was trying to find a 6'6" tight end. Averett had coverage on him.
And a young tight end, they all want to go out wide and let's take that matchup. You know, they're big, they're tall, they're athletic. You got to practice that area. It's easier said than done. You got to go make those plays. With that height, you got to play to your length. Get separation and body him up. That's what Jimmy Graham does so well. He uses his body.
It is 4th and goal.
This area, the running back is a mismatch because he's on linebacker in the passing game.
4th and goal. Brissett, pressure, turns out of it. To the end zone. Incomplete. He was looking for Fountain again. Be a turnover on downs. Well, they're trying to tie the game. Came up empty. And the White River as we are downtown Lucas Oil Stadium. The Colts trail by a touchdown. They just had a 1st and goal at the 2. A lot of number 12s out there tonight as they came to see Andrew Luck. We will hear from him in a moment. Lamar Jackson from the end zone as he gets it to Jordan Lasley, and Lisa is with Andrew. Lisa.
Andrew, how do you think you played tonight?
Not very well, but it was fun. It was a good chance to be out in front of the home crowd. We've certainly got a lot of things to work on as a team, and that's the beauty of it. I know personally, I feel like I've got a lot of things to work on. And at the same time, we did some good things, and if we continue to improve every day as a team and as individual players, we'll be all right.
What didn't you like about the way you played?
Yeah, turnover in the red zone, comes to mind always. We would have liked to put a few more drives out there, sustained drives, and finishing in the red zone.
You've said that you feel like you have a new lease on your football life. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, no, I think to a certain degree, I appreciate this game way more. I've always loved playing football, and when you can't, for whatever reason, I know a number of players go through this, and you get a second chance, per se. I certainly appreciate it more. I love being around the guys. I love going out there playing football. I'm really enjoying it.
You've said that you feel like you're getting better every day, and that feels awesome. At what point will you know I'm back? Will you ever know?
I don't know. It's a process that'll go on forever, but I'm enjoying that process. I really am. And there's things today that I did better. There's things today that I've got to work on, and we as a team did some good things, and hopefully we'll continue to do some more good things. So keep working.
You still think that you have your best football ahead of you?
Yes.
How come?
I got to believe that, and I feel it in my heart, and I do think, at the end of the day, what I've gone through over the past couple of years, I think will actually help my career.
You've got a new head coach in Frank Reich. Just in the few months that you've been together, what is he bringing to the table? What do you like about him?
He's a sharp mind. He's a great communicator. He's a great teacher. His perspective, having played the position for many, many years, is always very valuable for us. He's calm. I think he does a great job of seeing things from many, many, many perspectives. So I've really enjoyed playing with him, for him so far, and we'll continue to do so.
I know you're still working on everything, you personally and the offense in general, but what do you envision this offense being once everyone gets rolling?
Yeah, effective. Put drives together, score touchdowns in the red zone, disciplined, and we certainly have our work cut out.
Well, it's so great to see you back. Congratulations. Tess.
Thank you, Lisa. Effective and disciplined. I think that relationship with Frank Reich, his new head coach, is showing up, isn't it? Those would be words that coach would use to describe it as well. First-year head coach and the seventh-year quarterback who missed all of last year, but you can see the glow on his face, even though he knows that there is plenty still to work towards. Here's Jackson backing up as he's able to find Thompson. He had a good-looking run moments ago. That was George Odom, a rookie out of Central Arkansas, with the tackle. He mentioned the struggles in the red zone. They did have one touchdown in the red zone tonight, 3 possessions in the red zone, 1 turnover that he threw the interception on Andrew Luck, and then moments ago the loss of downs. Turnover on downs moments ago when they were at the 2-yard line with a 1st and goal. There's a check down to Gus Edwards from Lamar Jackson.
You know, I'm really liking what I see in Lamar Jackson right now. He threw the touchdown early. Now he's getting more comfortable in the pocket, just getting the ball out of his hands. That's all you want to see from your quarterback. You don't have to make every play. Allow the people around you to make plays. Now comes the money down on 3rd down in the National Football League.
3rd and 5. Jackson, that was batted away. That was a nice play by Quincy Wilson as Jackson was trying to connect with Jordan Lasley.
Yeah, and Lasley's a rookie here at wide receiver. It just seems like it's a reoccurring theme. They have to get separation. When they play press, man-to-man coverage in 3rd and medium, you've got to get separation away from them. Use your body, fake outside, put the foot in the ground, and come in flat and contested catches. That's what young players have to do when they make this adjustment.
New punter is Corey Vedvik, the Norwegian-born specialist. So he goes back rotation here, and a fair catch from Hines at the 15-yard line. Who else will we see at quarterback tonight? We'll find out next. Everybody in the Colts locker room loves this guy, Jacoby Brissett. He's 9 of 14 passing for 95 yards tonight with.
Yeah, I love this play right here. He's going to see it pre-snap, and it's going to go to cover 2. These safeties are going to get about 22 yards on the outside of the numbers. But they're going to close in. His tight end there bends it in, and he delivers a strike. He can't wait. And then on the next play, he's going to identify that there's going to be a pre-snap pressure potentially. They're bringing more than he has to block. Ball's got to come out into the flat. He doesn't panic.
Jordan Wilkins warmly comes up with the tackle.
You know why I like Jacoby Brissett? He's tough. He's physical. You know, he listens to one of his advisors, Bill Parcells. And we know Bill Parcells, the big tuna. He likes tough quarterbacks. Phil Simms, Hostetler. I think he sees a little something in Jacoby Brissett like he saw in those guys.
Witt's going to start shaking if you remind him of Bill Parcells during the preseason of his rookie year. What was it like back then with the big tuna, your rookie preseason?
Well, every day was a new day, but on rookie, when I was a rookie, he used to always tell me, Witten, you're a ball in high grass. You're lost, son. You're lost out here.
Hey, tell the folks, they know you as 82. What number were you wearing back then?
Hey, I was 49 with a yellow beanie cap on my head, running scout team, and, you know, he would coach me up hard. But the one thing about Coach Parcells is he had a way with tight ends. He just said, trust me. Just keep working. I believe in you. He showed me the way those first 4 years.
Yeah, he believed in you, and you went on to what will be a Hall of Fame career. Right now, he's hoping to believe what the exact will be at Saratoga this weekend as he's enjoying summer in the spa.
No question about it.
3rd and 4, Brissett. Oh, nice effort on that ball from Shontavius Jones. Old number 49. This was August of 2003. Tony Romo and Jason Witten with their NFL debuts, a preseason game against Arizona. Look at Whitbook.
I mean, look at number 49, looking very unathletic.
That was a 12-yard gain. As Brissett stays alive. Flag comes down. That was a fourth quarter pass. Romo to Witten. From that pass to 1,100 and
offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
To 1,152 regular season receptions later, fourth most in NFL history, and now up here in the booth for Monday Night Football. What a ride it's been, Whit.
It's been an incredible ride, but you know, seeing that video reminds me of that rookie game. Tony and I were sitting on the sidelines, and as rookies, you want to be down in the game, because that means you get to go 2 minutes and just go out there and play backyard ball. And we got close. We made a comeback and didn't end well for us. Went off the running back's hand on a little underhand shovel pass. Made for a long film session that next day.
You know what I like about seeing that, Whit, is there's somebody in this game right here who's about to play the fourth quarter who you never know what they're going to turn into.
You really don't, and that's why you got to have an eye for talent. You know, Ozzie Newsome's one of the best. He's done it for a long time here with the Ravens, but just keep working. Just keep stacking days up, you know, and take the coaching, be critical of yourself, have the confidence to be critical of yourself. Good things will happen. You may even get a different number, get in the 80s.
Hey, listen, Tess, here's the thing that video reminded me of. 82's come a long way.
Yeah, that's right.
He has come a long, long way.
From number 49 in scout team to a Hall of Fame career in the booth of Monday Night Football. Eric Swope with a nice reception there. End of 3 here in Indy. Ravens by a touchdown still. And he's all smiles all week because he's back in Indy where he thinks about that Super Bowl glory. You remember when Boog was in Super Bowl 41 with the Colts against the Bears? That big number 92, and he put on the spin move whip.
Look at him go, man. Do they count that as a sack? Hey, look, that looks like that Strahan sack that gave him on Favre to get that record, man. That doesn't count. No reason to give the Tiger Woods fist pump.
Oh, hey, it's good to be back home, I tell you. It's amazing. The 2 years I spent here, I just loved it. The people in the Midwest were so great to me. And that Super Bowl we won, I'll never, ever forget the relationships that were formed.
Start of the fourth quarter, 2nd and 11 for Brissett. And he is going to be wrapped up by Tim Williams. Look, it's good to be back. It's also good to be back with you when you walk into St. Elmo's Steakhouse the night before Monday Night Football.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Tess. I mean, St. Elmo's is a staple here in Indianapolis, and it was good to be in there, get a nice little grilled lobster, you know, kind of low on the carbs these days. So it was good to get a good meal, good seafood.
Never bashful when it comes to ordering the high-priced end of the menu is Mr. McFarland. 2 Super Bowl rings in the bag and a welcome back to Indy. Let's see what Brissett and the guys come up with here on 3rd and 17. Batted at the line of scrimmage. That was Bronson Kaufusi getting up at 6'6", his 3rd season out of BYU, to knock that away.
You know, Tess, there's an example of this Raven defense. Wink is going to be a little bit more aggressive here. Normally on a 3rd and 17, you would see defenses drop back and play zone coverage. Wink is going to make sure he gets pressure on the opposing offense and get the ball out quick.
Fielded inside the 15 by Grant. And a 7-yard return as a flag is down at the end of that punt.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 39. 10-yard penalty, first down Baltimore. Timeout.
Well, this is the last season for Ravens GM, VP of Player Personnel, Ozzie Newsome. You go back to his first draft in 1996, and what did he do? How about just selecting Hall of Famers Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis? The rest of that defense would come into the fold with Reed, Suggs, and later drafts. Of course, both seem destined for Canton as well. 23 seasons with the Ravens. Robert Griffin III is now in at quarterback. And Gus Edwards will take it out to the 15-yard line, and another flag comes in.
Personal foul. Defense, number 49. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Joe, you talked about Ozzie Newsome, not only a Hall of Fame player, you see him here, he was really the first guy, in my opinion, wearing that number 82. He was too big for safeties and just could outrun linebackers. He was a mismatch on the football field. And then he transitioned to general manager and probably has maybe even a better career, just as good as a Hall of Fame executive. And so it's great to see the run that he's had. Great for our football game.
There's Robert Griffin III as he threw it to the outside, but it was caught as Janarian Grant comes up with the catch. So there is Rob a little more now than he is RG3. Of course, you know what happened early on, going from the Heisman Trophy to the Redskins and NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, then all the injuries, was with Cleveland, was out of football, and now signed with the Ravens. 2nd and 5. Edwards hit the hole well as he's right at the 40.
You know, we visited with Robert, and you could see him at practice, and he's really energized. He said he learned from his mistakes. Being out from football, he's been humbled a little bit in this approach. And Harbaugh said he'd given him an opportunity. They could keep 3, that he's competing for a job here on this Ravens quarterback room.
What do you say? Keep 3 quarterbacks or go with the 2 with Flacco and Jackson, considering everything you guys have said about Jackson not being ready?
I think you can only keep 2, you know, maybe a potential trade. I just think that Lamar and RG3 are a lot of the similar in the way they play and their styles. And so, you know, just let it play out, the competition. You know, he signed here before they went and got Lamar in the draft. And, you know, Harbaugh said he's shown a lot of good things, but can he take the next step with staying in the pocket, making those throws, and not taking those hits?
Look, they haven't kept 3 quarterbacks on the Ravens roster since 2009. Do they keep 3? Do they keep Robert Griffin III?
Yes, I think they do, because Lamar Jackson is not ready. And if Joe Flacco gets hurt, are you going to put Lamar Jackson, who's not ready, on the field in a year where Harbaugh needs to win? To me, that's the key issue.
2nd and 7. Pass is complete as they get it to Brashad Perriman. Lisa.
Yeah, well, I asked Robert Griffin what he thinks his future is with the Ravens. He said, I know my teammates trust me, and that's really what I wanted to get out of this experience, to make my teammates and my coaches trust me. He said, talking to Coach Harbaugh and showing him what I can do on the practice field every day, being consistent, I know he wants me to be here, and that's all I can really ask for. I can't predict what's going to happen in the future, he said, but I'm going to keep working hard and hope these guys keep me around.
He was 5 of 7 for 88 yards and a touchdown last week against the Rams. First down pass, a little arrow route as he goes to the tight end. That was Mark Andrews, the other rookie tight end. He's from Oklahoma, kind of a big wide receiver type, but he hooked up a lot by way of Baker Mayfield for so much success at Oklahoma over the past couple of years.
But you know what, Boog, I disagree with you on keeping him. I admire the way he's going about it, but that's why you traded up in the draft to get Lamar Jackson. And as long as Robert's here, it's going to delay that development. That's why I think you stick with 2.
Gus Edwards on 2nd and 7.
What an incredible block by Orlando Brown, climbing up that 2nd level and just cutting that guy. I mean, he's a rookie coming in here to play, and he's a nasty guy coming off of Oklahoma. Keep your eye on him here. He's just going to climb up to the 2nd level and get a nice cut block in this running game.
Just showing some athleticism there, Whitten. That was one of the things that scouts wanted to see at the combine. Can that athleticism transfer to the next level?
Keep it on the ground with Gus Edwards. You mentioned the good block by Orlando Brown, the rookie out of Oklahoma. You know, coaches feel he is a sponge. He's also a legacy guy, of course. Orlando Brown Jr. His dad was Zeus, the great offensive lineman for the Ravens. Orlando Brown Sr., 6'8", 345 pounds is Orlando Brown Jr. He came in at 338 and 23% body fat. He's worked his way to 350, but dropped the body fat to 19%. They are very happy about his progress and development. Here's Robert Griffin III. 2nd and 9 as Andrews just quickly gets out.
Tess, I need to figure out what he's doing. And when you can gain weight and lose body fat, if you could sell that program across America, you make a lot of money, big fella.
You go out to practice, though, he just sticks out. He's long, he's athletic. They've been rotating him in there. You know, his career at Oklahoma protecting Baker Mayfield these last few years. You see him there. He's just got long arms and is athletic. That's what you look for in a tackle.
He's a waist bender, though. He needs to be a knee bender to play tackle. That's the one thing he's got to work on. Bend your knees, especially when you're 6'8".
3rd and 5. RG3 should have had a touchdown pass, but Jordan Lasley dropped it.
That's what you want to see from Robert Griffin, though. Those are the type of throws, extending plays and then accurate throws down the field. You're going to see him here. Good route by 17 here, just seeing that Robert's extending this play, and Lasley's just got to make that catch. Good awareness to keep on playing and get open, but great throw by Griffin.
So we'll have a 48-yard attempt from Corey Vedvik, the rookie out of Marshall, who has a monstrous leg. I mean, he puts on shows in pregame warm-ups that'll blow you away with his leg strength and distance. This from 48. As he hits that 2-iron up and through. 20-10 our score here. Orlando Brown Jr. was just on the field for that field goal drive moments ago. Orlando Brown Sr., who went by the nickname Zeus, started 119 games at tackle over 9 seasons for the Browns and Ravens. In '99, his career was put on hold after he was hit in the right eye by a flag thrown by NFL official Jeff Triplett. Brown missed 3 seasons while recovering from the injury before returning to Baltimore, played his final 3 seasons then. Let me bring in our now rules analyst, Jeff Triplett, who had a chance to speak to Brown about that incident that they're forever tied to. Brown passed in 2011 at the age of 40 from complications from diabetes. Jeff?
Yeah, Joe, that happened in '99. God, I wish it never happened. But, you know, we got together. We had a playoff game in Baltimore there in 2003, and Orlando and I saw each other for the first time after that. I went over to him and said, I'm really sorry about that. He said, hey, so am I. We gave a big hug at each other, and it off it went. He had a great game that day in the playoff game.
Jeff, thanks for sharing that with us. Understand what happened subsequent to that accident in '99. And now Zeus's son out there for the Ravens, the rookie right tackle, who has been lauded by the coaches for everything that he has put forth during this camp. They think they've got themselves a steal in the 3rd round. Jacoby Brissett, 11 of 17 passing for 119 yards tonight for the Colts. Andrew Luck was 6 of 13 for 50 yards and threw that interception in the red zone. So Flacco early on for the Ravens. We saw Lamar Jackson. We've been getting an extended look at Robert Griffin III. First down pass by Brissett as he drives it into the hands of Pascal. It is caught, fumbled, and on the return here is Deshaun Elliott. So the rookie from Texas, quick to jump on it and speedy down the sidelines. And the Colts have 3 turnovers tonight.
I don't know if he ever had control of the ball, Joe.
I think you may be right, Whit.
Doesn't look like that.
You see him, he runs a good route. He's got to catch it. He waits for it in his chest. And I don't think he ever really controls it. I think it may have been an incomplete pass.
Pascal maybe didn't secure that ball when you get a look on it on the replay there.
You know, but all young players, that's a great lesson for you. You know, don't wait on the football. We kind of want to wait and catch it off our chest. You got to go out and extend with your hands. That way you're getting it quickly and you can tuck it away.
Previous play is under further review.
Pascal was a record setter at Old Dominion. They're going to take a peek at this, and we'll see if it stands as a fumble and return.
After review, the receiver never had control of the ball. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go on the 25-yard line. Please put 8:46 on the game clock.
I got that right. Zach Pascal never really put it away and had firm control there on the pass.
You know, one of the things I like about it, I don't think he gets his 2nd foot down, and he doesn't have control, like you said. It's just, I think they simplified this rule so we all can see it and kind of call it how we think it looks. It's like, all right, I don't think he had control of it. It's exactly the way it should be.
So that keeps the 6'4", 235 big body Jacoby Brissett out there, former basketball star in high school at Dwyer High. He wanted to play both sports in college. Shallow under this time for Ross Travis. He was recruited to Florida by Charlie Weiss, and he said, hey, I want to play some SEC hoops and SEC football. Coach Weiss said, that's not going to work, son. This is Gator football. That's what you're going to be concentrating on. And then, of course, he ends up going the path of finishing up his career at NC State, and then came to the Colts by way of trade from New England last year. 17 career starts between his time with the Patriots and the Colts.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Tyreek Burwell with the movement. 13 penalties for the Colts tonight.
That's one of the things, though, that Baltimore defenses force you to do. You have to go on hard count numerous times because you're just trying to get them to show. They got everybody walked up. It's 3rd and long. He's got like 8 guys up in the line of scrimmage. You don't know who's blitzing. So you try to go on hard count just so that if they show, maybe they flinch, they drop back. See, these veteran quarterbacks are so good at that.
3rd and 14 now. They bring pressure off the edge. Good job picking it up. Good job by Brissett getting out of the pocket as he drives the ball to Steve Ishmael, the rookie from Syracuse.
You know, that's the thing I love about Jacoby Brissett. Really accurate with the football. He's calm. They brought pressure off his blind side. He just drifted to the right, made a nice accurate throw there. Calm in the pocket. That's what you want from a veteran QB.
4th and 1. Hines. And that'll move the chains. That's what preseason football looks like. Well, 4th and 1. We're just going to keep this thing going there. Frank Reich wants to get some extended work from this group. Under 7.5 minutes to play, trailing by 10. Brissett downfield and into the hands of Ishmael again. Right over Jean-Baptiste.
Look at Ishmael going up and get the ball. Brissett sees it pre-snap. Single high coverage. You're going to take a chance on his guy, and that's how you do it. What a throw. Just barely getting it over his head. Good job by Ishmael climbing the ladder and making that catch. Now you force him to cover 2.
He's looking that way again. Missed on the quick out. He had a great career at Syracuse, did Ishmael.
Brissett's really comfortable in this up-tempo offense, though. Taking command at the line of scrimmage.
Hines can't get free as he was wrapped up near the line of scrimmage. That was Sealer, a rookie from Ferris State, who was their 7th round pick. Ozzie Newsome's final draft pick of his great GM career, as he will be moving on from that role, and he's got a legit shot to make the team as a 7th rounder. 3rd down and 9. Tim Williams chasing. Brissett tried to go back to the 10-yard line to Ross Travis. Williams was coming down after him.
Yeah, this Wink Martindale defense is not going to allow you to drive the football down the field. Tim Williams, a little edge rush pressure there. He's going to be backing up Suggs. They have several guys in Baltimore that can win one-on-one battles. Williams is another one.
Martindale's incredible, coming with the pressures, and he didn't care what the down and distance is.
Late in the 4th quarter, baby.
Dialing him up.
43-yard field goal attempt from Michael Badgley, the rookie from Miami, who set the Miami scoring record for the Canes. A great rotation and lift there for Badgley. And they pull back to within a touchdown with just over 6 minutes to play. There's the oldest active player in the NFL, Adam Vinatieri, who hit a 57-yard field goal tonight at age 45. Of course, when you think great moments in history with Vinatieri, how about the 48-yarder as time expired, give the Patriots a 2017 victory over the Rams in Super Bowl 36. The 41-yarder as well with 4 seconds left, Super Bowl 38, to give the Patriots the 32-29 victory over the Panthers time and time and time again. But yet Father Time can't put a dent in this guy. Adam Vinatieri, the future Hall of Famer. 57-yarder he hit earlier tonight. His regular season career long is 57 yards. It happened in 2002, 16 years ago. This guy's a great athlete. Moments ago, his understudy Michael Badgley hit the field goal. And now kicking off here, and Grant on the return. As he reverses course and is run down at the 25. Take it away, Lisa.
Well, Tess, as you were showing those highlights of Adam, he was saying, it's hard for me to look away. You said it never gets old. How come you love seeing him?
Well, you know, it's always nice watching the ball go through the middle of the uprights, and those are pretty good memories, you know, Super Bowls and stuff like that. So whenever it's on, I tend to sit there and watch it again and reminisce a little bit.
Adam, 45 years old, 23-year career. You hit a 57-yarder tonight. What's your secret?
You know, I don't know. I enjoy being out here so much, working with all the young guys. It keeps me young, keeps me going, and there's just nothing like being out on the football field. So as long as I can keep doing it, I'm going to keep going.
58 points away from most points in NFL history by a single person. 7 field goals away from most made. What would it mean to you to get those 2 records?
Well, I just have a huge admiration for those guys, Morton Anderson in particular, that record. But there's so many great kickers that are on that list. And just to be even in the same sentence with a guy that I grew up idolizing and actually got an opportunity to play against one of my heroes, you know. So for me, just to be in that same sentence, it's kind of cool to think that I got to play as long as I have and been with so many great athletes and teammates and great teams. It's just, I can't believe when you say 23 years, it doesn't feel like that.
How many more you got?
Taking them one at a time, we'll see. I'd love to play for a few more years, to be honest with you. I feel pretty healthy right now, and if I can help my team win games, I'll be there for a while.
Thank you, Adam. We hope you stay around. Thank you. Tess.
And get ready for the next Vinatieri, because his son AJ is playing high school ball in the area, and he's got some talent as well. That was the Beer Posey with the catch.
I just love how late in the fourth quarter this young Colts defense is flying around and still hustling, getting to the ball, guys.
You know, Coach Eberflus talked about that they create a standard and that they're going to put everybody on blast, including the coaches. We're all taking responsibility to it. Doesn't matter if you're all pro or just a rookie free agent. When they get in that film room, everybody's going to be evaluated and held to that standard.
Here's Robert Griffin III from his own end zone, incomplete, threw it to the inside shoulder of Jaleel Scott, the rookie from New Mexico State. Vedvik will be punting from his own end zone. This Ravens team has missed the playoffs each of the last 3 seasons. As Hines struggled again, but then secured it. Boy, a couple muff punts last week. So Ravens missed the playoffs each of the last 3 seasons. And of course, when you size up the division, it's always all about the Steelers in recent years.
Yeah, it's got to start there. And it's these playmakers. Whether you see Big Ben going to Antonio Brown. This guy's a competitor. Not only is he one of the best receivers, if not the best wide receiver, works at it every day. And then his wingman there, Le'Veon Bell, patient running back. You see him out in open space. This offense is dynamic. Not only one of the top teams in the AFC North, but really one of the top teams in the entire AFC.
You like seeing those highlights of Tony Toe Tap, don't you? AB there.
Guy's incredible.
Philip Walker will be the new quarterback for the Colts. Walker's 5'11", 216 pounds, had a great career at Temple. He's small, he's shifty. He had 88 yards and a touchdown in preseason game number 1 against Seattle, but he is being torn down that time.
You know, my concern about the Pittsburgh Steelers is not their offense. We know it's dynamic. For me, it's their defense, their ability to be able to cover on the back end. We know they're going to be put in some one-on-one situations. They've drafted several defenders, several corners, and especially against Tom Brady, their nemesis. They're going to have to play man-to-man, and it's been an Achilles heel for them over the last few years.
2nd and 18 after the sack by Bowser. Walker. Too high for his intended target. Trying to connect with Hines there.
Really nice sack by Bowser. You know, he was a 2nd-round pick last year. They have high expectations for some of these guys. They're all competing, and they're playing hard down here in the 4th quarter.
Here's the former Temple star, Walker, to the outside and gets it complete to Pascal.
Nice little back shoulder fade there. Wink Martindale still bringing the blitz. It's late in the 4th quarter, 3:20 left. He's still blitzing, but a nice little back shoulder fade there.
Fourth and 1. Hines, good physical run to move the chains. Trailing by a touchdown. Coming up on 3 minutes to play. 3 timeouts in the bag. Frank Reich's home debut, first-year head coach for the Colts. And that's intercepted, as Stanley Jean-Baptiste was just waiting on it, and Philip Walker made the mistake.
Just setting the hook right there. It's cover 2. He just played it off and then allowed himself to fall back in the coverage. And he called it just baiting. He thinks he can get in behind him, and then he falls back because he has nobody in the flat. He's allowed to do that. And that's, you know, Martindale, he's been a defense coordinator one other time when he was in Denver. And they finished last in defense. He talked about this opportunity as a little bit of redemption. And when we met with him, I think he had the same outfit on, Buck, but you could feel the way his confidence, and he knows what this defense expectations is. They finished in the top 10 in almost every category, certainly in turnovers. But he's talking about, we're rebuilding it. We're setting a new standard of what we want the Ravens defense, and he's got some great weapons in Suggs, Mosley, and Weddle.
Ravens defense tonight, 3 takeaways, 4 sacks. That was a good job penetrating into the backfield. And Stewart was quick to get in. Flag comes in.
There is no foul on the play. The flag fell out of the official's pocket. 2nd down.
Flag fell out of the official's pocket.
Yeah, they've been busy all day, but I don't know about that call. But that effort of this defense, these guys just fly around. You're going to see them. When they throw it, they say, you talk about spot dropping and flying to the ball. Look at them. Everybody's getting the ball. The rush. They're talking about they need more sacks. See them 95 here. Just keep on running. I mean, Lamar Jackson's pretty athletic. And then they come out of the stack. They teach this. They know they're going to be put on blast with that red clicker on tomorrow morning when they watch this tape. They just go over and over and over. That's that style and the identity of this defense.
Triplet. Flag falls out of official's pocket.
We hope that that doesn't happen very often.
Falls out of the pocket. Nobody took it out.
Well, you know,
was he
first of the half.
lining his pockets with Crisco nowadays? What's going on over there, Triplet? Well, you get some memories when you look at this setup with
Joe,
this defense, huh?
Every time I see this defense, I mean, it was just for me, it was outstanding to play in a defense like this. It's a 4-3 aggressive defense, and you have to have essential parts. You better have a 3 technique like Warren Sapp up front. They can win a one-on-one rush and get to the quarterback. It starts up front, but then you have to go to the weak side linebacker, a guy that can make tackles, get in the backfield, but he can also cover and play underneath. The real linebacker is key. But you better have an enforcer, a guy that can come down when you go to 8-man fronts like John Lynch. Tony Dungy always talked about building this defense front, back, middle. They're going to try to do the same thing here in Indianapolis.
Man, oh man, was that a ridiculous amount of talent that you were there with, Book. 2nd and 12. Wes Edwards. How far away is this Colts defense?
Well, I think it's going to take time. They're trying to draft those guys that they feel like fit those molds. Now, they're not going to be Hall of Famers like some of those guys Bogue mentioned. You know, I played against Derek Brooks when I was a rookie, and we ran like 2 hook routes, a tight end and then the receiver out wide. And I swear he covered both of them. You know, I mean, just, how do you cover the hook and the curl? You know, but Derek Brooks did. That's what he was all about, and that's what they're trying to create.
You know, Whit, if you look at the guy here in Indy, Darius Leonard, no, he's not Derek Brooks. But guess what? When he played against Clemson at South Carolina State, it was a guy who could go out there. He made 19 tackles. So he has Derek Brooks' qualities, a guy that's long, rangy, and can go sideline to sideline.
Let's keep in mind, he was playing for South Carolina State against Clemson.
Exactly.
Not South Carolina against Clemson. South Carolina State, and he had 19 tackles against Clemson. That's Janarian Grant as he gets it to the 25-yard line.
But, Joe, I was talking to Chris Ballard before the game, and the one question I have for him is, Chris, are you willing to stay committed and build this defense the right way? And here's what I mean. You got to draft and develop. That's what we did down in Tampa. Derek Brooks was drafted. Warren Sapp was drafted. You have to be committed to draft and develop here, and I think they are. At least that's what Chris Ballard said.
Yeah, and Chris has experienced that in Chicago. He was with Ron Marinelli, so he saw this defense. You know, in Indy last year, they ran the 3-4. So they were committed to this. That's one of the reasons why they brought Matt Eberflus in there. But, you know, you mentioned the South Carolina State. Don't forget about the old boy from South Carolina, Sky Moore. He's got an opportunity to compete for this middle linebacker spot, Boog, as a college free agent. The playmaker.
Oh, he was a dynamic defensive player in the SEC. He led the team in tackles for 4 years.
Oh, he blocked it.
Oh, that is blocked. And scooped at the 10. That was Basham with a heck of a play right there. Terrell Basham coming in at 6'4", 266. The former MAC Defensive Player of the Year showing up on specials.
He got double teamed. You see the upback guy tries to block him there too. He takes on 2. Talk about effort. It's not just in defense, it's contagious. That's what Chris Ballard loves, his style. It's contagious throughout your entire football team. And Chris, you know, not only with Chris, but Frank Wright said, we want to fight and compete, and we want to be tough. He doesn't care that he got double teamed.
So now the Colts with a chance here with 2:29 remaining. Walker to the end zone. Wow, what a play by Pascal.
We talked about it earlier with Pascal. He didn't win at the line of scrimmage. He lost on the previous one. That time, he kept his real estate outside. He gave his quarterback, Walker, an opportunity to throw him open. Learn from your mistakes. You get another opportunity, capitalize. Pascal taking advantage of his opportunity.
And now going for the lead. The 2-point conversion attempt. Philip Walker with a touchdown pass moments ago to Zach Pascal. Could be a fun finish for Frank Reich in his head coaching debut, preseason action here in Indy. Here's Walker trying to get straight up the middle, and he's taken down short. That was Bronson Kaufusi coming up with the tackle along with Kenny Young, the rookie from UCLA.
Watch these guys, though. They try to hide it. Walker thinks he's got numbers. Kenny Young falls like he's going into coverage, and then he comes up and makes a play. It's all about reading the box. Kenny Young, 4th-round draft pick this year. You see him with the fist pump at the end of it. I mean, They understand he's competing for a job. Doesn't matter if it's the preseason or not. And it's just that chess match. Walker thought he had numbers. He had a guy for a guy in the blocking scheme. Instead, Young disguised it a little bit and came back. Eyes up, reading the quarterback, read and react. Good play by the young fellow.
Want to remind you that Sports Center at Night is coming your way with Kenny Mayne and John Anderson. They will dive in and get the analysis on what we saw of Andrew Luck tonight, how the new helmet rule is affecting the NFL, and there's some news concerning that. And is it a decisive year for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan? Sports Center at Night kicks off after this game right here on ESPN. Of course, always available on the ESPN app. See if we get the onside kick here, as Badgley will be attempting it, and the hands team does their job with the recovery. You know, as for the helmet rule, there's an NFL meeting set for Wednesday with the competition committee to examine what exactly they have learned so far in preseason, and perhaps if there's a need for some potential adjustments that they may make. Now, I don't know that there needs to be an adjustment with the rule, but I think there needs to be a period of acclimation where coaches know how to coach it, players know how to execute it, and officials have to get used to how to call it. The rule, in principle, is solid. Let's get rid of the helmet from the sport. Good run out past the 50-yard line to the 46 by Edwards. Your thoughts, Whit?
Yeah, you're exactly right. The rule in principle is spot on. Avoid these hits and lowering of the helmet to initiate contact. The problem is we're seeing it come up that I just think that we're not seeing consistency with the calls, and they got to clarify that, and they're working through it.
But we spent 2 entire days in Park Avenue with that. We'll talk more about that when we come back, the new helmet rules. Stay with us. And the Indiana State House. Beautiful scenes here in downtown Indy. Joe Tessitore, Jason Witten, the Boog Nation, McFarland, and Lisa Salters here watching the Colts and the Ravens. We're discussing that new helmet rule. In fact, there's going to be a meeting with the competition committee on Wednesday as the Ravens look to close things out here with Gus Edwards. Boog, we heard what Witt had to say about it. They're going to see what they've learned, potential adjustments. What do you think?
For me, I just think they have to understand it. I get sitting in a boardroom, but these players are turning their shoulder. I challenge anyone out there, turn your shoulder and look what your head does. Your head comes with your shoulders. So the players are trying to get the head out, but the head is going to come in because it's connected to your upper body. That's the challenge that the players have right now. Shoulder and head are coming at the same time.
We've had 2 of these such penalties, the lowering the head to initiate contact. Week 1 in the preseason, there were 25. Week 2, 26.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down. Indianapolis has chosen not to have a 10-second runoff.
Remember, the Ravens had the Hall of Fame game. So this is preseason game number 3 for them. They beat Chicago 17-16. Lamar Jackson had a touchdown pass in that game to his fellow first-rounder Hayden Hurst. Then they beat the Rams 33-7. Joe Flacco had the 1 series there in a 10-play drive. Here's Robert Griffin III, utilizing that speed that brought him fame and success so early in his career at Baylor for 7 yards there. And the failed 2-point conversion as the Colts going for the win. And came up short with Walker tackled short of the goal line. Whit, what'd you think of Andrew Luck tonight?
Well, it was great to see him back out on the football field. He told us earlier, I mean, that wasn't up to his standard. He cannot turn the ball over in the red zone. He's got to knock the rust off, but he's got the right approach. It's good to see him back out there. He's enjoying life right now. He'll continue to prove, and like he said, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I think his best football is still ahead of him.
You know, I think when it comes to Andrew Luck, they've made an organizational decision to protect the young man. They've drafted well up front. And especially on defense, they're committed to playing a certain way. So I think the Colts team, although they're young, they're going to be pretty good in the future. On the other side of the ball, when you look at Joe Flacco, I think this is a huge year for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco has to figure out, can he continue being that franchise quarterback and hold off Lamar Jackson?
They are reviewing the spot of the ball, seeing if his knee was down prior to where it was marked. Let's look at RG3's knee right there.
Yeah, I think he was down for sure, short of it. You know, this is only my second game calling with you, Tess, and we saw Washington last week with the field goal for the winner. Now maybe Indianapolis gets this ball back, potentially.
Well,
I tell you what,
2-point conversion.
I tell you what, I've been hearing about this Test magic a lot. Maybe we're going to see some preseason magic going on.
You're going to lose your mind if we get some of these finishes come September 10th with Rams-Raiders. You imagine John Gruden with a game coming down to the end after all the years up here where you're standing right now, feeling the pressure and how animated he's going to be on that night against the Rams. That is the top of the marquee on opening weekend. That Rams team that went out and took out all the free agent contracts, grabbed themselves Brandon Cooks as well, and Ndamukong Suh, the 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks. That roster is primed to win now, Boog, the LA Rams.
No doubt about it. And I think one of the biggest questions we have to wait and see is, can John Gruden still get it done? I know one thing, he's
Let's listen into the ruling.
After review, the quarterback was a half a yard short when he touched the ground. Therefore, it will be 4th and a half a yard at the 42.5-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 15 seconds. Because we are bringing the ball back and putting it short, we will run 10 seconds by rule. Clock operator, now please reset the clock to 1:05.
The one thing I can't wait to see is to get out there, visit with John Gruden, and just see how he's engulfed and how he's learned over the last 9 years, because I think that's the big question in the AFC. What are the Raiders going to be? Derek Carr and everything around that franchise, just what are they going to be with John Gruden's return?
And where will Khalil Mack be by September 10th? This guy, Frank Reich, is going to have his Colts prime the day before to host Cincinnati right here. Baltimore opens up at home against Buffalo, a Buffalo team that may have the rookie Josh Allen at quarterback. A.J. McCarron suffered an injury. Josh Allen was working with the first team at practice now.
Yeah, Josh has got a big, strong arm. You know, just we didn't know if he was going to be able to make the transition quickly with getting through his reads inside the pocket. And he's going to get an opportunity now up there in Buffalo.
So interesting to follow all the rookie quarterbacks.
Their first time out of a half.
During this preseason. Of course, Baker Mayfield with the Browns. Everybody was so impressed with what they saw early on with him. Sam Darnold, we saw him against Washington. Josh Allen, we mentioned the fact that A.J. McCarron is injured, so now a huge opportunity. And Josh Rosen with the Cardinals. Listen, Sam Bradford is the clear starter there. Rosen's number 2. Rosen was 10 of 16, 107 yards, had a 13-yard touchdown pass against the Saints in the second preseason game. This is a crop, and you throw Lamar Jackson, the curiosity we've had tonight, but this is a crop that's going to be very intriguing to see how it changes the face of the NFL in the years to come with.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it starts with Baker Mayfield. We've seen him be accurate, but extending these plays, a lot of the things we're talking about with Lamar Jackson, but we're seeing some of these guys really transition inside the pocket with accurate throws.
Mark Thompson is the running back on 4th and half a yard to close out this game. They go to the up back, and in doing so, they have the first down. That was Gus Edwards, who was lined up as the fullback out of the I formation to take care of things here. So with that, they're going to come across and shake hands. As Indianapolis, the Colts come up just short with the failed 2-point conversion attempt a couple minutes ago. Flacco had a touchdown pass. Lamar Jackson had a touchdown pass for the Ravens.
You don't need it.
The Ravens will move their mark to 3-0 in the preseason. 49th season of Monday Night Football will kick off September 10th. Jets, Lions, followed by Rams, Raiders. Gruden's return to the sideline. For Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, and Lisa Salters, I'm Joe Tessitore, telling you to enjoy the rest of your night, especially with John Anderson and Kenny Mayne in Sports Center, coming up right now.
That's Tess completing a pass right